Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is the P.O.C. pattern of conduct, the ongoing real-time documentation of what is the criminal pattern of conduct of federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsection 1 and subsection 2. This is the pattern of conduct underway by a public entity, that is the state of California, that is engaging in federal stalking in concert with the people of the state of California. So this is group conduct. And this is the practicing of what are the criminal elements of monitoring amongst what is the demon possessed. And so this is what is documentation of terrorism as it is underway by a public entity in concert with the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government as this criminal system is in ceaseless operation. And as the state engages in this demented group conduct, this is revealing how the public entity, that is the state of California, that is in the United States of America, how terrorism of an American citizen plays out, what that looks like, how that is facilitated amongst a people, amongst a government, how it is public corruption in plain sight, and not only that, how you formulate policy and how you prosecute that which is demonic conduct, it's demonic activity, but that which is in no way impervious to prosecution in federal court, and being subject to ratification into federal policy. This is the P.O.C. Documenting the people of the state of California, demon-possessed stalkers monitoring vicariously on behalf of the state of California. That is monitoring with communication devices in violation of existing federal law. That's Title 18, Section 2261A. This is documentation of what is terrorism as a government monitors an American citizen in concert with the people of the state, depraved and demented in every method employed pursuant to that criminal end of monitoring with communication devices. And with regard to the state monitoring, and that is stalking with an environment as this demonic system is underway. As I showed in video at 10:20 in the morning, the state's fake sun is over the 280 North Limit Apartments. I show in images where you will see the state's fake sun over the windshield of the vehicle as it is parked on Fern Avenue, across the street from what is 630 North Fern. And I show at 10:20 a.m. the state's fake sun over the windshield of the vehicle at Holt Boulevard at 400 Holt Boulevard, which is Lupe's Auto. I'm showing you what is the state's fake sun, and this is the ongoing P.O.C. documenting what are the people of the state who are not only stalking on behalf of a government. You're talking about this is demon possessed this is demon possession. While they're engaged in this system, every single last person around you, that is indeed stalking you in that unnatural environment. All right, and to that end, I will continue documenting. It is Sunday, November 28th, 2021, and this is POC 7JDN 467 13000R2 7XAW 399 6ZIR 378 8CFF 955 7YDB 462 8YDC 722. And the state's fake sun is directly over the Stater Brothers parking lot, in conflict with being over this same venue, first of all, early in the morning when I'm here, remaining over the B&G Plaza for the duration of the day after already being here at 8-something in the morning, mutually exclusive to being over the 280 North Limit Apartments as am at the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library 24 hours ago. And this is how you know what is the condition of the people of the state that surround you and are monitoring you with that government that is stalking with an environment that is entirely unnatural, serving that criminal purpose, which is terrorism, and it's entirely demonic. It is currently 10:22 a.m. Stater Brothers is maintaining relevant position using the shopping carts for audible activity and relevant positioning, monitoring and concert. And I want to be clear, the state's fake sun, this directed light conduct, as I showed last night with regard to stalking via helicopter, and that same exact directed light and the people of the state that are present in relevant position as that is ongoing, that is speaking to that irreducible direct evidence of what is stalking conduct, knowledge of who I am, knowledge of where I am, and knowledge of what I'm doing as I'm doing it. And these are the demon-possessed, again, and that is directly relevant to what is not only prosecution, but what is relevant to the implications of those that are documented engaging in this POC, including the government, including the people of the state themselves. But you're also speaking to what is understanding what is terrorism. The government is not just stalking, the government is stalking, and what are demonic methods, speaking to the condition of those in government, the condition of those that are stalking, indeed. And that is exactly what is ongoing, where you have what is not the sun remaining over your head everywhere that you go. And that's exactly what the documentation reveals. It is currently 10:23 a.m. and the state's fake sun is not remaining over the 280 North Lemon Apartments, as I demonstrated yesterday, as I remained there from 10:20 a.m. and I step out to show you at 11:48 a.m. and I step out to show you again at 3:15 p.m., where the state has not moved that light source. In direct conflict with that, the state's fake sun is over the Stater Brothers parking lot at 646 West Hall. That is speaking to what are stalkers that are surrounding with the government that is stalking. All right. That is surveillance. That is, first of all, demonic. So that is the demon possession of those that are stalking and engaged in surveillance, and vicariously on behalf of a government exercising no First Amendment rights whatsoever. And this is the documentation of that entity. Absolute psychopaths. All right. In every regard, regardless of whatever specific identity that they would like to claim. The fact that the fake sun is over me and you are in relevant position, creating any facilitating activity, is speaking to that demon possession and that intentional conduct to that. And it's 10:24 a.m. That's P.O.C. Oh, 8PXA 444. Seven JDN 467 5XOS 044, I believe. Let me see, this demon sitting in his car under the fake sun and direct light, stalking in the parking lot. 5XOS 044. That's correct. That's funny. 6NQN 692. And just like I showed yesterday in video at 3:15 at the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, as I showed the day before that, which was November 26th, on at the B&G Plaza at the same time. I'm showing at 3:15, approximately 3:15 p.m. I was making the contrast to this very venue, Stater Brothers, that calls itself a family market. This is how Satan identifies himself. That is Satan creating audible activity using a shopping cart. They're patrolling inside of the venue under the fake sun and in engineered light, and Tracy Banks is patrolling back and forth with her communication device. She is monitoring, and that is the same exact demon possession. And she is indeed monitoring with absolute strangers. They are of the same demon possession, all right? That's P.O.C. The state is aiming directed light inside of this venue, as I have shown you already. That is the literal confession of those who are demon possessed. They're letting you know exactly what their condition is in that demonic environment. Stater Brothers Family Markets, it needs to be known, it is not a family market. This is not a venue for family markets. They sell food and they monitor American citizens. They sexually violate them. They terrorize and monitor them in concert with the government. And this is in every way a facilitating venue. This is why you have what is directed light shooting inside of the venue. This is why they are engaging in stalking with noise inside of the venue. They are demented psychopath sex offending stalkers. That's the truth about Stater Brothers Family Markets, which I believe is a company that is originating in California. That speaks the truth of the company and those that are employed for the company, those that are shopping in the venue, stalking inside of it, those that are own and operating this venue, all right? Because that's what it is. It's a venue. And that's called Stater Brothers Markets. This is P.O.C. All right, I do want to finish my analytical note, because this is speaking to what is the prosecution of venues such as Stater Brothers. You have what is, and every third party, all right, the entirety of the entity. This is the same venue as I was speaking to before that demon started using a shopping cart. There's psychopaths that are listening to every word and even engaging the P.O.C. to try to be a distraction as they are listening to every syllable that I pronounce. So you have what is the same venue, which is Stater Brothers at 646 West Hall inside of the Ontario Village Shopping Center, which is a venue as well, all right? You're prosecuting more than just Stater Brothers. They're monitoring with communication devices. The fake sun is over the area, over my head, all right, but directed light spans and monitoring spans a radius. So at 3:08 p.m., as I showed you, I believe that was November 15th, and this is where you're looking at Garter World, and that's the illustration that I was, the contrast that I was drawing when I was showing at B&G Plaza, where the state's fake sun was over B&G Plaza parking lot as I'm facing south, after it had remained for the duration of the day, and there is no mistake about that position as I'm facing south, and that at that B&G parking lot at 410 East Holt. And this is what I'm speaking to, which was I had already documented at 3:08 p.m. Garter World that is stalking in the parking lot using a commercial vehicle to create light activity, which is the demonic behavioral pattern, stalking with some mode of flashing light and what is engineered light under what is the fake sun that is over the Stater Brothers parking lot at 3:08 p.m. on that date. All right, and I'm showing you what is 3:15 p.m. while I'm at the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, all of which are locations where the state is keeping this fake sun at these times at that same central position over my head. All right. And this is understanding what is not the sun and what is called stalking with light. Stalking with light is revealing what is demonic activity. And it is that which is being operated by a government that is monitoring with communication devices in concert with every demon-possessed stalker who are legally identified as third parties, having no First Amendment rights. They're exercising presence on behalf of a government that is demented in every regard, stalking American citizens. All right. So you have what is the state's fake sun over this venue at 10:20 in the morning, 10:21 in the morning, and this is in conflict with remaining over the 280 North Lemon apartment building while I'm at the library, okay? This is common sense. And so you are documenting what is the entity, and that's the people of the state. That's P.O.C. It's 10:31 a.m. All right, and what I'm documenting is what is stalking in a grocery store, and this is the extent, this is how pathetic demons are, first of all, understand that, because their entire existence, everything they're doing is centered around me, the one that they're stalking with the government, and they are psychopaths under a fake sun, and in what is absolutely unnatural light, that's not sunlight, and they are stalking in a grocery store, that's going to terrorism, and that's what I'm taking pictures of, and the one that you see in the hat, where I'm taking a picture of him, he's got his communication device in his hand, and it's flashing, that's a psychopath stalker. Who is pushing a grocery cart while he's stalking. That's a psychopath and a sex offender, by the way. That is demonstrated in every single last one of them, but I just want to give a specific example as to what are psychopaths as I'm documenting them in images inside of the venue. All right, there's no difference between Stater Brothers while they're in managerial outfits and in blue T-shirts. The same demonic possession. All right, stalking together. It is 10:33 a.m., and I'm just speaking to what I'm documenting while the entity, the people of the state, are stalking at every type of venue. This is P.O.C. 7EIU 581 8TBF 402 66067D3. As you hear, that's Union Pacific with what is impossible light activity and under a fake sun. Monitoring with the people of the state at Stater Brothers. 5WRD 828. That's amplified audible activity. It's amplified. You cannot hear that in the grocery store. They make everything louder. And it's indirected light. That's how you know it's intentional as well. It's serving that criminal purpose. It is 10:40 a.m. This is audible activity. And this is the hand dryer that they amplify while you're inside of the grocery store. Thank you. That's the hand dryer, and they amplify that inside of the grocery store. And they meaning the state, and the people are actively pursuant to that. It's P.O.C. It's 10:43 a.m. That's the same entity stalking in the bathroom at Stater Brothers under the fake sun and indirected light while monitoring your documentation. It's the same sexual violence. I want to be clear. The state's fake sun, and that's the same P.O.C. amplifying audible activity while the entity is stalking in the bathroom. It's 10:44 a.m. and as I showed you at 11:48 a.m., as I documented the venue of the Ovid Family Community Library, where this same demon-possessed stalker was stalking in the bathroom at that time, and the state was keeping its fake son at that address, that is speaking to what is the sexual violence of a demon-possessed stalker that is following into the bathroom to monitor on behalf and in concert with the state, that has what is the fake son over the Stater Brothers, not over 280 North Lemon Apartments, where it remains for the duration of the day while I'm there. Okay, that's called audible activity, relevant positioning, and demonic, depraved level of stalking. That's the sex offender. It's 10:45 a.m. This is Stater Brothers, not a family market. All right, I'm going to be prosecuting them for the same sexual violence in concert with the government. That's P.O.C. All right, so I want to document the demonic activity, stalking with activity while you're stalking in a bathroom stall. As I open the door to step out, using the toilet to flush with simultaneity to my being in the path. That is just a perverted method of the same exact demonic conduct of stalking with audible activity. And this is Satan that's stalking in the bathroom, acting via the people, okay, inside of the Stater Brothers restroom. The same exact demonic activity. That's P.O.C. All right, I want to document Juliet. She engages in the grouping inside of the women's restroom as well. And I want to be clear, Tracy Banks is monitoring me while you have demons piling up. She's monitoring with the exact same entity. The same exact entity that piled up with demons inside of the restroom, okay? Capturing what is that ongoing monitoring conduct inside of that private space. let me be clear, as I go from venue to venue, this is speaking to what is the criminal summoning, which is grounds for federal prison that Sean Thrasher engaged in at the venue of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. This is the same entity, and that is the same exact sexual violence at yet another identification of where the state is present vicariously through the people. And those are violent sex offenders that are entering and doing the exact same thing at the venue of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, demonstrating hostility to the fact that this entity is a sex offender, and that includes Tracy Banks, who's monitoring, who she wants to identify me as her daughter, but I do not. That is a term of art, in my opinion. I'm documenting her engaging in the same exact conduct of sex offenders, violent sex offenders, and psychopaths. Demonic level of stalking conduct, and doing so inside of the bathroom with knowledge of the fact that you're being documented. 6UWX 935, 8PUP 533. 6UJM 789, and let me be clear, operation of your communication device under the fake sun and in directed light is direct evidence of federal stalking, as I have alleged. Also, that directed light, as I've also given you documentation showing what is the immediate affect on my phone while they are indeed monitoring, okay? 8BHA 134, and that's exactly what they're doing in the bathroom while I'm showing you. They're operating their phones while they're stalking in the bathroom. That's Satan to that extent, going to that extent, and that's exactly what the people of the state do and what they are consumed with. 5T23552, and that is sexually motivated conduct. The demon-possessed are stalking you inside of that private space, following you inside of that private space for that criminal purpose, while they are also in what is an ongoing facilitating environment to that end, with knowledge of what you are doing, engaging in the criminal elements of monitoring, with knowledge of every minor movement that you make while your panties are down, while you're physically indisposed, while your genitalia is exposed. All right, that's criminal conduct of a sexual nature, and that is entirely perverted and predatory. And this is the venue of Stater Brothers, which is a no deed any sort of family market. The fake sun is over this venue. The state's directed light, and the state is aiming direct light inside of that venue. Just streams of light through the airspace. Impossible light activity. All right, it's not only covered, but you're talking about that's not sunlight, and that is in every regard, not only in every regard, an emission of demon possession, a demonic environment, and also with regard to what is facilitation with the government license plate. 7NNV 535, and those demons engaged in piling up inside of the bathroom. Okay, it is 10:50 a.m.
So don't take pictures of me and put
I'm
it
going
on
to document you, and it's not bullshit. It's going to prosecute you. If you're engaging in conduct and if you're engaging in sexual violence with the state under that which is not the sun that remains over your car, you can call it. This is audible activity under the fake sun.
And you're harassing me.
Oh, okay. That's a word that she doesn't even know the definition of, but I will get the fake sun over this vehicle right now.
Put me on that
That's audible activity, and this is harassment by a third party.
Yeah, well.
You're in relevant position in directed light at the venue of Stater Brothers, operating her communication device in directed light while you're engaging in that conduct. So that's P.O.C. I will get the directed light in the car and the fake sun over the vehicle as well. Alrighty, that is P.O.C. and that is documentation of what is the psychopath and the very violent sex offender operating in an entirely alternate and a demented universe, all right, where you are speaking to what is the P.O.C. irreducibly, and you're listening to the audible activity, and that is speaking to the sexual violence that this particular third party has been facilitating and engaged in for years. And you're going to pay very close attention to that audible activity. It is also prosecuted as what is harassment while you are engaging in that. And that's sexual violence in particular. Monitoring inside of the private space with the demons that are inside of the bathroom with me. They're one entity under what is the fake sun. As clearly captured with your own eyes, it is over the 280 North Lemon Apartments where it remains. And I captured that in substantial video yesterday. In conflict with being over the B&G Plaza, which I captured in conflict with being over what is Stater Brothers today at this time frame, okay? It is 10:52 a.m. and that's the pattern of conduct, all right? And that is the audible activity of the people of the state. They speak as one, P.O.C. That's the state flying over the parking lot and creating the impossible light activity as though that plane that the state is stalking in creates shadows over the vehicle. That's light activity while I'm in this third party's car. That is citing, quote, bullshit as her audible activity while she is monitoring with the state. It's 10:53 a.m. at Stater Brothers under the fake sun and in directed light, P.O.C. 8KSY 589. Those are some heavy-set Latino males, and the vehicle I also took images of, and what is a stalker that waits for me to walk around in the parking lot, and this is where he was simultaneously walks to the vehicle, and he closes the door, which creates impossible light activity that appears on the under the shaded structure of the S.I.I.S liquor. It's the same pattern of conduct, and that is also a demon that is tracking your steps, engaging in what is that signature conduct of what is directed light, speaking to not only that simultaneity, that's a demonic behavioral pattern, but you're a stalker under that very unique signature of what is directed light that's never occurring naturally anyway. You're stalking. And I did take images of that and images of their vehicle, which is the means of that activity creation, simultaneity of conduct. 8SXB916, another stalker, and flashing of light just appearing while the demon possessed are stalking on Hope Boulevard driving west. Totally disconnected conduct, speaking to what are stalkers in traffic. That is the people of the state, all right? And that is how you have that conduct, and that's exactly what the state is doing, while, by the way, the entity is stalking an American citizen in a vehicle that it very well knows where I am sleeping at night, in the same way that the same exact entity was doing so at the museum, where the entity was stalking an American citizen, knowing exactly where I am sleeping, and that's why I have that wealth of documentation of the state stalking by helicopter and by plane hovering over that museum, which are planes that are not taking off from the Ontario airport. That's the state. That's a psychopath, demon-possessed stalker using commercial airline planes and helicopters, which is in violation of Title 18. That extends beyond mere intimidation and intent to injure or harass. That is the intent to terrorize, and that is specific to what is demonic activity as well, while the entity was stalking in that incredible manner, and that is what I have documentation of. The entity is stalking relentlessly, showing that ongoing obsession, and doing so in concert with Tracy Banks, and that is what I am speaking to, and it is indiscriminate of your specific identity as the ongoing environment is present, that ongoing specific signature, speaking to what is stalking by the government through the people, all right, who are all demon possessed, and that's a psychopath when you're listening to that audible activity, and that's what's going to have third parties ending up in what are straitjackets, and that is necessary as a matter of justice, not only based on the criminal conduct, the pattern of conduct as I've revealed it, showing what is an entirely demented group of people, and as you prosecute them, demented individuals, you're talking about the malice with which the entity engages in the conduct with knowledge of the fact that it's supposed to be some unspoken system underway while you are engaged in every depraved, unfathomable manner of targeting another person who is also aware of it, and you know that, and then you're going to understand what is the significance, the substance of that audible activity that I documented Tracy Banks providing on my podcast today. That is a very violent sex offender, a psychopath who was monitoring her own daughter, as she would claim out of her own mouth as her audible activity, a lying psychopath you will never get the truth out of. You're going to prosecute by what is the conduct. She's engaged in a pattern of kidnapping. That is a very dangerous psychopath, and that is the grounds for federal prison as well, okay? She's engaged in that wealth of provision of documentation. Let me be clear, this is the same entity that stole my property as I documented, knowing exactly who I am, stealing my property, engaging in stealing my vehicle in October of 2000. This is the exact same entity, and that is the multitudinous grounds for what is identifying not only demonic activity, which is the operation, the conduct of psychopaths while the system is underway. They are demon-possessed ones, and that is what you're witnessing while Tracy Banks is speaking under the fake sun and in directed light, in operation of her communication device, sexually violating her own daughter, as she would say, while I'm inside of the private space, and a pack of demons enters inside of that private space to monitor together. That is the obsessive conduct, the obsessive sexually predatory conduct that she is fully engaged in. Stater Brothers is a venue where the state's fake son is over in conflict with remaining over the 280 North Lemon Apartments, which the state's fake son is over in conflict over the Stater Brothers, by the way, in conflict with being over the Fontana Lewis Library, which is over the Stater Brothers, which is in conflict with being over the Upland Public Library, literally visible through the ceiling while I'm there. There's no question about where the state was placing its light source. That is not the sun, because that does not coexist, maintaining that central presence over my head in vast different locations and cities at the same time at that as well. And that is what I have documented, and that is speaking to what is the audible activity of a psychopath and a sex offender and a stalker. All right, not present in her own capacity. She's present on behalf of the state, under whose fake son she is under, and monitoring me too with the rest of these demons, where directed light is flashing while they drive by, speaking to what is stalking by a people, demons, an army of demons. And that's going to the prosecution of every single last one. It is currently 11:11 a.m. The fake sun is over the B&G Plaza, where the entity is stalking, maintaining presence via interstate commerce, the roads and the highways, monitoring with communication devices, and doing so with knowledge of exactly who I am and where I am and what I am doing. And that's why you have directed light occurring with their presence. And that's why the fake sun is over me. That is the targeting conduct of an entire entity, a demon-possessed entity, including that which is of Tracy Banks. That is P.O.C. License 7VVP628, entering B&G Plaza at 11:12 a.m. under the fake sun. 7WZT071, 8SRP538. These are demons crossing path on the same side of the Shiro's Liquor, directed light while they are driving by. They're stalking, all of them. There is no exception to that. 8TCY632, 398 PRU, that's Florida. 7RZP096. License, directed light, molesting with a minor, 6W70568. License, 6TPL548, 888-30B3, 10285K2, 7VAE450, 7TPP631, 5YLK790, 8PUH439 with a minor, 8KDE807, 2SWEETY, 36199T1. DH towing, you saw them molesting yesterday in the fake sun, engaging in that again, 83RY395, 5GPK017, 78897S1, license 8RHB743, license 7JWD189. Okay, I want to be, let's see, it is 11:16 a.m. and the state's fake sun is over the Shiro's Liquor. ILUV Heart JN. License plate 4MN. I can't see the rest of that one. That was an ongoing show of what is an ongoing light show while demons are stalking. And how are you engaging in what is stalking with the state? They are maintaining presence in the path. That's what demons are doing. They are stalking together, and that ongoing signature, speaking to that demon possession as that condition, speaking to what is a sex offender as they are molesting while they're stalking, speaking to what is terrorism while that is underway, speaking to what is monitoring in concert vicariously on behalf of the state. No one exercising any First Amendment rights. You are stalking on behalf of the government that is maintaining that environment, and you are fully engaged in that, maintaining that presence, engaging in that sexual violence. And that is the P.O.C. And I will I just took a substantial video of where the state's fake sun is right here over the same location where I captured it before. License 8ECR087, 7TZM761, I believe, 8WBN987, 5SGN233, 7FIK174, 8WFB198, 6UUM665, 6PWC599, 8ITF913, 8K7872, I believe. Can't really see that one. 7RVY625, 14603F3, 7TJN039, 7NSU554, and this one crossing path again, 7WZT071, documenting himself on the B&G cameras, B&G Plaza cameras. Brinks Security on Sunday to cross path and molest. License plate 2961961. P.O.C. Same exact impossible light activity. All right, 8KWN093, BU56R94, 8Y94856, 8FJF755, 7PCU293. Omnitrans loitering in relevant position, and this is a predator under the fake sun waiting to touch. And this is license plate 1370397, and it is currently 11:18. All right, capturing substantial evidence as to the prosecution of the people of the state while they are driving what is east and west on Holt Boulevard. You at 11:19 a.m., 11:18 a.m. Under what is not the sun that is in clear departure from remaining over to any North Limit apartments while I'm at the Ovid Family Community Library. You have what is directed light 7XET254, which is the specific identity of what is a demon-possessed stalker, not just a stalker, because directed light is specific and unique enough. It's impossible light activity. It is also that which is speaking to demon possession. 7 PVA 787, 8 RTN 516, 6 TXU 312. It is also speaking to what are the operation of psychopaths that are engaged in this system. THE 2019, 4 SUT 986, 7 KDR 545, 5 RTH 107, 8 MUW 199. BU36P90, and you're going to recall again, as I document specifically, the audible activity of a psychopath, the same demon-possessed entity, Tracy Banks, 61201T2, the same exact entity engaging in that same exact conduct, and she is in no way distinct. She is monitoring with the same exact entity that is indeed stalking, 8UBF566. All right, I did go ahead and make an illustration of what is directed light while 8UBF566 5KRZ002, 8WAT712, 7HCY019, 7FVD387, 8, I can't see that one, 8MLW522, 8AOD369, 7SUE033. While they are stalking in the path, a substantial directed light, orange colored directed light, is on the wall while they are crossing path in the shade on the side of this building, and where the state's fake sun is remaining over the parking lot of B&G Plaza right here behind me. And I went in and I showed you what is the exact same engineered light, which I've already shown, because that's not light activity that's going to occur, light streaming horizontally from your vehicle while you're driving east and west. That's speaking to what is stalking. You're stalking me. 5WFS491. And you know exactly who I am, and you know where I am, and you know what I'm doing. And you're all also demon possessed. That is demonic conduct. 8KSY589. And while those third parties whose license plate I've cited, the substantial light activity is present on the wall. Speaking to that, all of that which I'm stating, I do stand in that my shadow is appearing in what is that impossible light activity. I want to be clear, that's literally impossible light conduct, speaking to what is this, that's the same exact light, by the way, that the state is aiming inside and outside of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. That is the same exact light that the state is aiming inside of the Upland Public Library, as I'm showing you what is double shadows, what is the state's aiming its directed light on surfaces, and it appears and my shadow is appearing. It's the same exact directed light. For example, as I'm showing you in video and in images, my shadow is appearing where that light is actually manifesting out of nowhere. It is literally impossible. But then you also have what is my shadow that appears in it as I step in it. All right, where it is appearing out of nowhere. Okay, there is no natural explanation. There is no form for it, if you will, because the state engages in trying to have form. I have stripped that down, and you're talking about what is pure hostility of demons engaging in what is just blatant admissions, if you will, while they engage in the P.O.C. at this point. But originally the state engages in trying to maintain normalcy, a sense of normalcy, while they engage in this demented conduct. And the state has abandoned that, totally departed from that upon my revealing what is directed light, providing essentially a nomenclature for this demonic activity as they're engaging in criminal conduct. And 8WEX921, and that is directed light manifesting at the same time a group stalker 23184D1 crosses path on the wall that they are stalking, maintaining light around. They are engaged in that criminal endeavor. It is the exact same pattern of conduct, 8VDG912, and my shadow appears in that light while those group stalkers are crossing path, the same light that I'm showing you in video yet again. Okay, I want to be clear, like I said, 8LZP569, this is going to the prosecution. As I stated a long time ago, I'm going to prosecute the people of the state. That is the direct evidence of what you are, what your condition is, speaking to the terrorism that you're engaged in, 6ZXN728, the stalking conduct you're engaged in with the government, which is also terrorism. Doing so, stalking an American citizen in concert with the people of the state that the government is doing, is terrorism. 8UIF925, doing so in the demented environment as the state practices demonic activity, is terrorism. 0044183, that is stalking with light. That's terrorism. Stalking with audible activity, 7CIW280, that's terrorism, okay? And stalking as an entity, which is what the government is doing. And literally, as I capture that ongoing documentation, which is what the state is doing all the time. 7XCN616, with a child, okay? You're going to prosecute that. You have what is the state engaging in total departure from being over anywhere near the Ovitt Family Community Library, 8FNG971. That's prosecuting like I said, the cumulative value of that documentation is to the prosecution of the vicarious aspect of that entity. 5YZZ 765, 7EZS 778, 6WGE 396, and they are psychopaths. 5JTM 007, 4BMY 174, hopeless psychopaths, the cockroaches of humanity, 8KLZ 966. 8B39188, 8VMR723, 7RSS138, 1064983, 8DWF426, 8AZW558, 6CYG094, 8JUJ901, entering into B&G Plaza, 7KTD422. They are depraved as a group. You're talking about Satan in operation, and these are the last days, and this is what the government, this is the condition of the government, this is what the government is into, this is what the government is concerned about, this is what the government was concerned with concealing. These are the last days, and that it is not concealed, and it is not only relevant for what is the intention to be able to prosecute Satan as it is operating over a people who are literally bankrupt with regard to their morale, their moral condition, is speaking to a level of depravity that is unfathomable. 8XMU223, and is speaking to what is 06033G1. It is speaking to what is sickness. All right. And I cannot stress enough, not only because the people are acting as a group and the people are acting as a group on behalf of the government, but because of what is the pattern of conduct itself. And it is revealing what is demon possession. And it needs to be known how dangerous that condition is while this criminal system is underway. It is revealing those who do pose a danger to not only children, regardless of the fact of whether those children are demon possessed or not. All right. They pose a danger to children. They pose a danger to their positions in government. These are literal psychopaths. And let me be clear, Tracy Banks' audible activity in conflict with the direct evidence of what is in her face, that is the psychopath. Okay, determined to engage in that, not connected to reality. All right, engaging in that demented conduct with the people of the state all around. 7 LDA 964. That same psychopath operating through law enforcement, through the medical profession, through those in the courts, through those in local government. 5 MYH 684 through the fire department that you hear sounding those sirens. They're engaging in that conduct. It's not separate. All right, psychopaths. That is Satan literally governing the people. All right. And that is very dangerous. And that is going to the prosecution. That is an unlawful threat. And it is terrorism that you shall be able to prosecute and you will prosecute. And let me be clear. That is what is the prescription for what are straight jackets for such psychopaths. 7 RGE 489. All right. And that is what I'm speaking to when I'm saying I'm not only prosecuting, I'm prescribing. That is what that is directly speaking to and what that is necessarily implicating. Because that is when you are witnessing what is unbelievable, and I have captured it for your eyes to see. What the state thought that would never be witnessed, right? I would be the target individuals to be dismissed and kidnapped into a mental ward, 8DYM 503. They're going into mental wards, 75660 7KID 422. Loitering relevant position. The audible activity revealing what is the condition, the disconnected mental, the mental disturbance of a malicious actor, a demon-possessed one such as Tracy Banks. Straight jackets, 8THB 232. That's a psychopath who is monitoring, and there is direct evidence of that, and there is no reasonable argument whatsoever. You're talking about a psychopath that is not dealing with reality. You're talking about one that is seeking to unrealistically and to their own detriment because it's going to the crafting of policy, and you are going to be prosecuted. You're talking about to your own detriment with regard to how you're going to be dealt with, or your audible activity revealing what is your state of mind, and it is a dangerous one while you are fully engaged and cognizant of the criminal conduct that you're engaging in. 8WYA 065. While the state is stalking by helicopter, while the state is stalking by commercial airline planes, it is revealing what is the condition of those engaged in it. And that is speaking to the demon-possessed who are using Southwest Airlines planes, Frontier Airlines, UPS, FedEx airline planes, Amazon Prime. It is the same exact analysis. It's speaking to the mental condition of those who are using their children while they're engaging in that demonic activity, targeting another person, bringing your kids along to engage in that level of obsessive stalking conduct, molesting what that was unnaturally occurring, CBD 582, that's Arizona. Speaking to the mental condition of those who are using their buses, their fire trucks, their police vehicles, their ambulance vehicles to stalk another person and molest with that which is unnaturally occurring, 8YSC 400, directed light, under that which is not real, a fake sun, all right, for your criminal purpose as you are targeting, 8DTX 951, while you're in that position. That's the Ontario Fire Department. Satan knows that I'm speaking to him. License plate 1223113, while directed light is on the wall, the same exact P.O.C, okay? 8LLG 856 308YS 7HXA 570 8SLJ 450 6KNW 993 487 8812. All right, and that is speaking to, because understand what Tracy Banks is speaking to in her attitude, thinking the louder she says it, the more harder she cusses, the more real it's going to make it. It's called audible activity. Let me be clear. That same demon possession that she's speaking on behalf of an entity, that is the attitude, that is the conduct of the people of the state who are psychopaths. 8DCY 561, they are demon possessed. Okay? All right, engaging in a demonic system. 7FAW 485. All right, that's how you have a lily white female in a dark parking lot stalking me, terrorizing me, and engaging in the threat of criminal summoning, 03811P2. That's a psychopath, all right? That's how you have a Sean Thrasher who is sexually violating me, monitoring me, engaging in surveillance in the bathroom on behalf of and in concert with the people of the state and the government, all right? BM24 S86 paper, 4RZX927, 8WLA901, all of them molesting with directed light. This is how you have that while the state is stalking by helicopter over your venue, keeping a fake sun over your venue, keeping directed light inside and all around your venue, while I am being molested inside of your venue, which is shown by what is the demented light activity, my shadow pacing in front of me repeatedly while I'm walking inside of that venue. I'm going to prosecute Sean Thrasher. All right, and I'm just using his name because he pronounced himself while he called himself engaging in handling me because I'm documenting psychopath, sex offending stalkers. Let me be clear. The Ovid Family Community Library is being prosecuted right now while the fake sun is not over that venue at 11:33 a.m. It's over here over me at B&G Plaza where the entity is stalking and molesting with that which is not naturally occurring. Sunlight, the directed light, all right? The same directed light the state is aiming inside of that venue of the Ovid Family Community Library, 64791C2, 8UDG 045, and it reveals 5CJA820, the mental state, the disturbed mental state of such actors such as Sean Thrasher. All right, 8TZR351. What is it revealing? While the demon-possessed agency, the Ontario Police Department, who are monitoring and stalking and molesting under the exact same facts, while they are operating in an alternate universe, this is disconnected from reality. All right, the documentation is already existing. What you are doing is already known. You are talking about psychopaths operating in showing and demonstrating, manifesting what is a mental disturbance. All right, dangerous. While they are cloaked in the uniforms of law enforcement. Psychopaths monitoring together with Sean Thrasher, arriving to engage in this criminal system, operating in their alternate universe. Psychopaths demonstrating what is necessary, not only federal prison for engaging in a pattern of kidnapping and criminal summoning, but engaging in federal stalking while you are law enforcement, engaging in what is that ongoing terrorism while you are law enforcement, demon possession while you are law enforcement, engaging in that sort of conduct, revealing what is their true mental state. Psychopaths that do pose a very potent danger to the public and whoever it is that is exposed to them. All right. And by law enforcement, you're talking about disbanding such demon possessed agencies. License plate 8LNJ195. And it is 11:35 a.m. 8BSK177. 8SQE810. Everything that the pattern of conduct has revealed, which is what the state is engaging in, and then you are understanding the audible activity, everything that they are engaging in while this is ongoing. That is understanding the psychopath. 8RID252, and they're going to be prosecuted for that because the psychopath is not removed from criminal responsibility. This is not insanity. This is a psychopath that is speaking to a level of danger that they pose while they are determined to, and engaging in whatever level of malice, okay, in order to which they don't have anymore, but this is a psychopath operating in an alternate universe. You're talking about operating in some veiled stance, some posture where it's not known. They're acting like it's not known what they're doing. That's a psychopath. Not operating in reality and engaging in an ongoing P.O.C. Literally, I'm going to run this tape to document, to prosecute every single last one. NX 461148. That's paper plate on an Audi. License plate 8UPV392. Literally every single last one because they operate as an entity. So when I'm prosecuting that company in Penske, I'm running this tape. 8VKY100. And all of my hundreds of documentation is literally going to be, like I said, the Oprah Winfrey of federal prosecution. They're not operating by themselves. 7DV8521. They're operating on behalf of the government. That's one prosecution, all right? That's a whole other issue. You're talking about prosecuting the people. 17ZT035, who are psychopaths, and they pose a very specific danger to those who are exposed to them. And whatever it is that they do in the state of California where this system is underway and these psychopaths think that they can keep it concealed. 7WSL441, 7DGF297. That's a demented level. That's a very demented level. 8ALW832. 8XYY118, 8TGJ283, 7WXZ176. It's 11:37 a.m. All right, and directed light, the state's engineered light, 82772P1 is the admission of stalking. You are stalking. And that is literally that demented act of that ongoing sexual violence that they engage in, that they love to engage in, which is the routine P.O.C. It is the admission of the stalker. FB474. And as I have shown, where I started documenting this directed light conduct, not only inside of venues, but as I'm literally walking down the sidewalk and you're looking at what is directed light, this is a state system, and it is indiscriminate with regard to that ongoing stalking conduct by the people of the state, who are the very indeed creepy stalkers that I have described them to be. I've been very precise with my descriptors, because that is what is wrong with them, and that is what they are doing. And that is why that directed light is there. That is why the fake sun is over my head. They are together in a demonic environment that is entirely honed in, focused on me, the one who is going to prosecute them and place them in straitjackets and or federal prison, and with regard to dissect their lives and all the ways in which you will remove the dangers that they pose while this system is underway, and addressing the ways in which the government is literally engaged in public corruption with the people of the state. It is currently, by the way, 11:38 a.m. and directed light in the fake sun is the admission of the stalker. All right, 7SLM893. All right, the inadvertent admission, but an admission nonetheless. It is the signature of the stalker. It is the identification of the stalker. That is no ordinary stalker. It is the people of the state. That is the stalker, and it is the demon-possessed stalker. That is the people of the state. 8LPV 411. 4WTB 119. 322005Z1. It's currently 11:38 a.m. So take a look at that video, because what you have is the impossible occurrence of what is directed light. This is absolutely light that is never naturally occurring, ever. It is the admission, and the fact that I've captured it in a wealth of documentation is speaking to direct evidence. 5NJA095, 8RQD850, 5HVZ660, 7PMF680, 8FXM317, 8RGE453, 8DSV692, 8NZM094, 7TVY727, 63765V1, 8FJS757, 7SJX, I can't see that one, 358 I believe, 04858B3. All right, and just want to document what is that ongoing sex offender that are the people of the state who are demon possessed, who are obsessive in their criminal endeavor to engage in ongoing stalking with light, molesting with light while they are stalking, engaging in that ongoing, while the psychopath understand they're listening to every syllable. They know when my panties are up and down. They're stalking together, and they are the demon possessed that maintain that knowledge, and they're engaging in that obsessive stalking conduct. 8WOL045, which is exactly why I document it while they engage in it, because that's going toward what is that prosecution and all the ways in which they engage in that psychopath pattern of conduct. Right, and that is just dealing with the people. This is documentation of what is law enforcement, those in the medical field, those in the court system. License plate 49072G. Can't see the rest of that one. It's 11:40 a.m. and that is an obsessed stalker. 7LWN304, and that is Satan in operation over a people. That is Satan in operation over the government. All right, license 8GOT253. Satan in operation over a people is how you get the audible activity of Tracy Banks. All right, under the fake sun and in directed light. All right, that's how, and you deal with that accordingly, because that's dealing with the mental state, one of which has yet to be unveiled with regard to what it is all revealing. 6TGJ253, 7KQY367, which is a very disturbed individual that would monitor and engage in such sexual violence and unprecedented terrorism with the government in concert with strangers to me. I don't know them, but I know them by their deeds. They're demon-possessed stalkers. 5V93727, and she is no different, as I'm documenting her in the exact same environment, exercising the exact same demonic behavioral pattern, demonstrating that same malice. All right, 7FKF380. She's no different. 6YLG806. 6LLZ183, and that, by the way, is why the fake sun is over me while I'm in her car, while I'm molested with directed light while I'm in her car. 6SQT726, 6NDG429, 8HLJ244, engaging in that terrorism and molestation and stalking with the government with a minor child. License 11. It's 11:42 a.m. That's license 8PCH703. That's how you have what is that same exact P.O.C. as I'm capturing the pattern of conduct inside of what is her venue where she lives at Woodside Senior Apartments. That's why you have that. And that's the psychopath. And then you listen to what they say and you prosecute them. 7JXR3018. That is understanding, revealing their own demented mindset. The fact that they are psychopaths. They're revealing themselves by what they're saying and what they're doing. All right. 6VGR807. 255. 88D2, 8KQB240, 8RKA415. 8KSY 929. Entering B&G Plaza. It's 11:42 a.m. 8BIR 516. 8LYS 142. License plates 7ZIB 640. 8CUY 519. D171Y1. I can't say that one. 8AQT 579. 7FCS 133. 00902Y1. 8LJU 071. 7AGW 264. BU 26M53. Deport him. That's not American citizen. 7PSW 283. 7SPG 267. 8SOA 836. 5BHM 855. 7PEH 629. 5CVR 918. 3318 3H1. 8PLC 577. 3318 3H1. Red directed light while they drive by in a black truck. 8SZH 869. That's Satan doing tricks. 8TO2 35 paper. Want to be clear, that's why I document that license plate. I'm going to prosecute. That's a psychopath. 8HAD 493. 3998 2V2. 8TEY 075. 17804V2. 8NT, I can't see that one. License 8VIC 292. Remember when I was in the documentation that I already published, the directed light that was inside of Economy and on the wall, on the ceiling, above the window, 7PLM279, and the state started creating red-colored, deep orange and red-colored directed light. All right, doing tricks with that, which is terrorizing and impossible to naturally occur. That was the state aiming directed light in the same way that the state is aiming directed light right now. It is the exact same pattern of conduct no matter where you go. That's what the state was doing at Economy Inn, and that was red-colored directed light. 7XV2054, that's out of state. And I documented that on video and in images that already exist, and that's another example of the state in acting with the people, the demon-possessed. All right, to be revealed in court and on the public scene for the psychopaths that they are, 7XIN 764, and in video because it is undeniable. F421WB 8LEU 959. All right, license plate 8GNT 513. Monitoring with the state that's stalking again in helicopter. This is ongoing direct evidence against the people of the state as well. It is 11:45 a.m. This is the exact same entity, and then you're going to recall again, let me make another point, the audible activity of the demon-possessed entity speaking through Tracy Banks under the fake sun and in directed light, where the state was stalking by a helicopter directly over me like it is right now at that vehicle at 630 North Fern, where this same exact entity that is stalking at that location where it very well knows that I'm sleeping. It's 11:46 a.m. 8CIZ 984. That's the psychopath. License 7N34006. And that is the conduct in violation of Title 18. 8NXB 867, 7MJS 501, 7VFD 241, 62707D2. All right, stalking, engaging in federal stalking with a helicopter is that which exceeds the intent to injure and intimidate. 78SX 713. That is grounds for federal prison. 0752 9H2 6LTF 296. 7UIU 569, and it is that which is exceeding the language of that statute. In other words, it satisfies it, but like I said, that is intended to terrorize. 8YGY 384, and it is the exact same entity that is under a fake sun, that is in directed light, molesting with directed light, admitting the fact that they are stalking all together, monitoring all together. All right, license 7ZWF 944. It is 11:47 a.m. 7GSS068, 7NUM 747, 6Z03135, 5JZJ 706, 6NRB 982. 11:47 a.m. Omnitrans is loitering in relevant position. That's a predator waiting to touch. There are the traffic cameras at Euclid and Hull at 11:47 a.m. Monitoring with the demon-possessed who are pacing at the bus stop under the fake sun, monitoring while the state is aiming this direct light over here. All of them are stalking at any type of venue that they can remain present at. 8KSY929, which is their form for patrolling as one entity under what is a fake sun and in direct light, and with the state that's stalking by helicopter. BT20N87. It's 11:48 a.m. 8WFN557, and I did capture video at 11:48 a.m. showing you what is the African-American male who is remaining loitering in relevant position in video. That video is a little bit over 3 minutes. He's sitting in his car with his bald head, listening to every word. He's a psychopath. 8RCX037. That's why you hear him start his ignition, as he knows that I'm speaking of him and I'm coming to read his license plate. He's been loitering in the parking lot, monitoring while with that ongoing substantial molestation with directed light while he's stalking in the parking lot. That's what he's doing. He's monitoring to that. They're maintaining the elements of monitoring. All right. And that's a demon that knows exactly what I'm saying as I'm saying it. OK. But like I said, you're hearing the ignition. He's now driving off as I acknowledge him in my podcast. He's been stalking. And I just want to point that out. What I captured in video is exactly what I'm speaking to. Is the ongoing presence of the state's fake sun over the B&G Plaza while I am standing facing south, and I am also the state's fake sun is also very precise to where I am standing, which is on the side of the S.I.I.S liquor. Even that is in conflict with where I am standing at the bus bench at 11:48 a.m. At this B&G Plaza, as I was showing, and then yesterday I made a contrast at 11:48. I'm showing you what is. I'm sorry. I'm in the in front of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library at 11:48 yesterday, and I'm making that contrast with regard to what is the departure from that location, as I'm in the parking lot walking away from the library, and the state is keeping its fake sun. And while I'm in that parking lot of 280 North Limit Apartments, the state has removed its fake sun from being over the edge of that apartment building while I'm at the Ovitt Family Community Library, and in conflict with that is what I showed yesterday, 11:48, and in conflict with that is today, 11:48, the state's fake sun remaining directly over me, very precise to where I am standing right now at the B&G Plaza, and no way possible actually the sun that would be over 280 North Limit Apartments. If that was actually the sun, then I would not be able to capture it facing south, standing on the sidewalk of the S.I.I.S liquor at 410 East Holt Boulevard. All right, you have what is stalking with light, and not only that, you were talking about an all-out admission of the understanding what is the significance of my documentation. It is the identification of who are the demon-possessed entity, the people of the state. It is the identification of what is the stalker, monitoring and stalking on behalf of the state. That is the people of the state, and that is the ongoing documentation of a substantial video, yet again, showing what is absolutely impossible light while they are driving east and west, and that is not ordinary traffic. That's called crossing path. They are stalking, doing so on behalf of the government, whose fake sun is over my head at 11:48 a.m. at 410 East Holt Boulevard, an absolute departure from remaining over the 280 North Limit Apartments, as I stepped out yesterday and showed you at 11:48, while this same exact demon-possessed entity was stalking in a bathroom. Okay, and you have what is the state keeping its fake sun there, as I show again at 3:15 p.m. It's remaining there, and I pointed that out at that 3:15 video documentation. And you have in direct conflict with that is the state's fake sun over here at the S.I.I.S liquor, maintaining that central presence over my head, stalking with 8TBE965, a demon-possessed stalker focused on me, knows exactly who I am, 8WHC491, and that is why you have directed light, a specific signature, never naturally occurring. It is demonic in nature, and it is the terrorism and sexual violence of a stalker that is acting with the government. 8359278, 7KBY5, I can't see the rest of it, 8CQ E422. All of them engaging in that same identical conduct, speaking to what is the people of the state who are monitoring with a government under that which is under no circumstances and shown to be a light source, not the actual sun, in what is absolutely impossible to naturally be occurring, which is the state's engineered light simultaneous to their crossing of path, which is what is group stalking by demon-possessed actors, monitoring with communication devices. And that is what I captured in substantial video at 11:48. All right, so you're talking about what is understanding what are psychopaths, as I again remind you of 7ZKV403, 7ACB662, as I remind you of the audible activity, which is Tracy Banks providing what is the mindset of the psychopaths that are the people of the state. of the entity that is engaging in this system, in doing so revealing the fact that they are indeed those psychopaths, not only revealed by the pattern of conduct itself, but the way that they conduct themselves as they are revealed as being engaged in that irreducible pattern of conduct. When you have light flashing along and across my person while you are driving by, and this is captured in evidence that which third parties in the state cannot deny, that's a psychopath that is absolutely acting outside of reality, revealing what is the absolute danger. In addition to the pattern of conduct reveals that you are a threat and a danger to society. But you're talking about operating outside of reality as it is known what you are doing, and it is absolutely abnormal. It is entirely demented. It is depraved. It's criminal, and it is also revealing what is absolutely malicious, a malicious psychopath. That is the secular term for what is demon possession. All right. And this is the entire system in operation. So I want to be clear, that is the significance of that audible activity that you're hearing Tracy Banks provide while I'm documenting her engaging in the sexual violence routine and the pattern of conduct, where the fake son is over that Stater Brothers while she's uttering it, and directed light, and these same exact demons are pacing around in that parking lot that she's monitoring while she's in operation of her communication device. She's monitoring with them in the same exact demented environment. That is a psychopath. All right. And that is a psychopath whose name I know, who's been engaged in an ongoing pattern of kidnapping and theft. The same exact entity stole my property, everything that I own. All right. And you are talking about what are the levels of that prosecution, the conduct that is revealing about them. This is prescription for what is straitjackets, as I said before. And that's just putting it loosely. I'm just speaking in the vernacular for that, which is actually a very serious situation to address, because you're revealing demonic activity and the ways in which you're going to address that, not only by government. And of course, that includes removal from many positions, especially those of the government itself acting directly. But you're talking about addressing what is the psychopath state of this entity that is operating this demonic system in the state of California. And it is that which is revealing what is entirely dysfunctional, including those to be disbanded the Ontario Police Department. Let me show you that. Alrighty, I did get video instead of just reading Ontario PD's license plate. I'm going to disband that police department. 7080375, and it needs to be understood the depravity of those in those positions of law enforcement. 6TSS, S68, 8SVK 422. The people of the state the people of the state are prosecuted like I said I was going to. And you're talking about what is dealing with the ways in which you're going to prosecute, what is necessary, what is implicated when you are engaging in a demonic targeting system, and disbanding law enforcement agencies that are diseased with, infected with demon possession. They are dangerous criminals, yet to be revealed as such, because demon possession is something that you can't see on their face. All right, so it takes a very special project, if you will, such as this, to reveal what is their condition and what is relevant to that, what they are doing. It's entirely malicious. While they are literally using their job, this is a demon-possessed actor using their job, their position, to engage in that demonic activity. And this is the whole matter of public corruption in the state of California. You disband such law enforcement agencies, they pose a threat and they pose a harm to the public. There are demons engaging in criminal conduct together with third parties such as 4YTH875, obsessed stalkers. That directed light activity is not disconnected from what is crossing paths by the Ontario Police Department, as I capture it on video right now. It is the same exact entity, the same exact P.O.C. underway while the state is flying over me by helicopter. That is a terrorizing means of stalking. While the state is driving by, that is crossing paths by a police department. That is a terrorizing means of engaging in the P.O.C. All right? Molesting by the masses that are the demon-possessed, the people of the state, is a terrorizing method of the P.O.C. And that's exactly what the Ontario Police Department engaged in, again, on video, for publishing, speaking to what is my substantial grounds for that policy that I advocate, and that is disbanding law enforcement agencies that are infected. And that's exactly what's wrong with them. They are infected with demon possession, and that is directly relevant to your ability to do your job. You're talking about a dangerous psychopath that thinks, until now, thought that they could get away with kidnapping someone, defaming someone that they are monitoring in violation of the law, with knowledge of the fact that they're being documented. Let's be clear. They started just kidnapping me all of a sudden. Let me be clear. The entity did that because they knew I was documenting them. Remember, they didn't have any probable cause. They didn't have any grounds. This is pursuant to what is criminal summoning by an entity that knows that I'm documenting. It's pursuant to what is literal criminal defamation while they were trying to literally artificially engineer something to keep me kidnapped. while I'm in that venue where demonic activity was ongoing. The same exact elements: criminal monitoring ongoing, relevant positioning, light activity, and audible activity, or sensational activity. This is the ongoing demonic environment. You're talking about knowledge of the fact you're being documented, and you are in the environment. There is no form for that. There is no form, meaning there's nothing that you're doing other than stalking. And that ongoing exhibit of the people of the state providing what is, while they are crossing path, and the Ontario Fire Department, while they are crossing path, sounding their sirens under the fake sun, which, by the way, while Ontario Police Department crosses path, is no longer on the side of that building over there, speaking to what is stalking by the entity, including Ontario PD. All right, so while they think they can just drive by and they're separate, there is no separation, and that's what I mean. But that's a psychopath. All right, this is showing what is the necessary policy, disbanding those agencies that pose such a risk to the public. And in those very positions, they are literally a threat, not only to the target individual that they're monitoring, but you're talking about in general. They have no business in those positions. They have no business whatsoever in law enforcement. Okay, you're talking about removing Satan, a very dangerous psychopath, from that ability to abuse such positions. All right, and titles. It's 12:03 p.m. The state's fake sun is over the B&G Plaza while psychopaths drive in. Same exact directed light conduct over the storefronts while they are stalking in that parking lot. This is P.O.C. Alrighty, that demon that's driving through the parking lot stalking through the B&G Plaza, and while impossible light activity moves all over the storefronts, that's licensed with the same conduct as Tracy Banks. BT15F70, that's a paper plate on a Honda Accord, a white Honda Accord. That is referencing, it's 12:03 p.m. That's P.O.C. And again, like I said, the state's fake sun moved from being right over the corner where I stood at the sidewalk, where that shade of the side of the building, and that's why the directed light is occurring while the people are stalking. They're engaging in stalking with light. They're maintaining light, doing so with simultaneity of crossing my path in vehicles. They are fully engaged in that, and that's the pattern of stalking with light, very particular to where I am, and the state's fake sun is no longer over there. It's right here in alignment with me. Not only that, it is not over the 280 North Limit Apartments, as I captured at 11:48 a.m. as I was documenting this sex offender stalking in the bathroom yesterday at the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. Okay, it is currently 12:04 p.m. All right, I did capture on video the state flying over in a helicopter. So not only is this an act of terrorism, understand, they're monitoring and doing so via helicopter is that which exceeds the intent to intimidate, harass, and or injure, which the entity has done all of the above, including theft of property, all of that. You're talking about demon possession, all right? In that engineered light, the pattern of pacing around and going around in circles, that's what I showed in video, and that's what I want to document. The prosecution of the entity, the people of the state, is going toward their prosecution as well. It's 12:15 p.m., and I just want to document the ongoing monitoring conduct under the fake sun. That is how you are understanding what it's targeting. It's the same exact conduct while the state is pacing over me in Southwest, Delta Airlines, Alaska Airlines, FedEx, UPS planes. That is what the state is doing. It is the same conduct while train activity is sounded under what is the fake sun and an engineered light. It's the same combination of the elements: audible activity, relevant positioning, and light. Okay, the engineered light, that deliberately placed light that I showed in substantial video as well. And I just want to document that it's 12:15 p.m. This is going to the prosecution of the entire entity, not just the government, but the people of the state, because they are demons who are monitoring and terrorizing together. And that continues. It's 12:15 p.m. 12:17 p.m. This defeated entity maintaining stalking via helicopter. All right, this is this. I want to be clear. On the one hand, it is entirely pathetic. Okay, this is the pathetic conduct, but I want to be clear. The target individual, the ordinary target individual, has every grounds to be terrified by what the government practices. And just like I was documenting last night in the vehicle at 630 North Fern, where this same exact entity was doing the exact same thing, flying over me in a circle. This is demonic conduct by a government actor that is worthy of federal prison, monitoring with the people of the state, including third party 7XHE826, while they are together molesting with directed light and together stalking under a fake sun that is remaining as of 12:18 p.m. where I am over my head as I am at the B&G Plaza at 410 East Hope Boulevard. All right, I want to be clear. That is both pathetic, and I'm documenting that because I'm going to prosecute them. And this is the conduct of a defeated and sexual 8XVN 414. But I want to be clear. That's prosecuted as what is terrorism. This demon-possessed stalker representing the government is flying over circles over my head under a fake sun and in direct light with the people of the state who are all demon-possessed stalkers, as I've already prosecuted them. That's why their stalking and directed light is coexisting with their presence under what is not the sun. That's how you know they are stalkers, and that's how you know the government is a stalker as well. That's how you know the Ontario Police Department are stalkers and of that same demon possession, by the way. And this is also how you are identifying, as I was stating in my video, earlier on my podcast, that is the ongoing targeting conduct by the people of the state. You are prosecuting the psychopath by the environment that it is focusing on you. And that's how you're understanding what is wrong with the psychopath. It can engage in the conduct and somehow act like it's normal when you're seeing what is the strip down of what is psychopath stalking conduct by the demon possessed. All right, and I want to document this is ongoing terrorism, and every documented third party acting commercially, acting on behalf of the state directly, and acting as third party in their vehicles or by image. However I've documented them, the entity that is documented is going to be prosecuted if they're engaging in that terrorism together. And why? Because I'm going to publish my podcast, and I am indeed going to publish it, and all of that ongoing video, which I'm going to use to prosecute as I dissect Satan at prosecution in that federal court, where none of them can have any argument for each other, all right? And you're going to, in other words, prosecute the demonic in a court for its demented conduct, which is terrorism in the United States, while they're monitoring with communication devices. 12:19 p.m. P.O.C. License 7BBL013 and 7UKS 979. P.O.C. All right, documenting Omnitrans engaging in the pattern of conduct as it does so systematically, using its bus line, arriving outside of its published bus schedules to engage in sexual violence and stalking, and monitoring with the people, representing the people in doing so. And as I remain at the B&G Plaza, where the state's fake sun is remaining present over the parking lot, in conflict with remaining visibly, as I'm capturing in, as I already captured, by the way, and a wealth of documentation, not just yesterday, November 27th, 2021, as it's remaining over the 280 North Limit Apartments, which is a direction that I am not facing as I'm capturing the state's fake sun over the B&G Plaza. All right, it's an entirely different location. I would not be able to capture it over the 280 North Limit Apartments if that indeed was the sun. And those are the circumstances under which Omnitrans is departing from its published bus schedules in order to engage in what is relevant positioning by crossing path, molesting with that which is unnaturally occurring, directed light under that which is not the sun, pursuant to what it knows I am doing on my phone, publishing my podcast, and that is at 12:30 p.m. as I documented license plate 1545799. And then 7 minutes later at 12:37 p.m. Using another bus to cross path, and this is with molestation of, under the same facts, molestation of my person, which is the directed light, which I'm showing you is on the sidewalk, on the sidewall, on the walls behind me while they are crossing path, they being the people, acting directly and vicariously. That is the fire department, that is the Ontario Police Department. It's indiscriminate with regard to that demonic conduct, and revealing that they are stalking in that environment and maintaining the criminal elements, all right, while demons are doing so. That's their identification and their admission as to being a stalker. 12:37 p.m. Omnitrans crosses path again, and that is license plate, I believe, 1370396 at 12:37 p.m., which I did take a picture of just so that you can see the license plate of that one that arrives 7 minutes later after the 1545799. Third party, that's Omnitrans engaging in the P.O.C. It's 12:53 p.m. And that is indeed license plate 1370398. It is currently 12:53 p.m. And I noted that in order to continue publishing my podcast right now, which I'm preparing to publish right now. And while I was doing so, uploading my podcast, I'm going to give this license plate 9825482, engaging in that sexual violence and stalking, terrorism with the government, with a minor child, including the children in the P.O.C. That's going toward the ways in which you're prosecuted, acting as the people. Engaging in ongoing monitoring conduct, stifling internet. That's what is instrumental with regard to the molestation of light while the people are repeatedly molesting as they cross path. This is impossible conduct. It's demonic conduct, but it is also referencing what is irrefutable evidence of a stalker, a demon-possessed stalker that is doing so in concert with the government. And it is currently 12:54 p.m. That is P.O.C. License plate 08471E3 8GUK 872 80991U1 U-Haul, crossing path. 12:54 p.m. That is P.O.C. License plate 08471E3 8GUK 872 80991U1 U-Haul, crossing path. 12:54 p.m. That is P.O.C. License plate 08471E3 8GUK 872 80991U1 U-Haul, crossing path. usually have AE23970. That's Arizona. 29566R2, 8THF327, 8DXC589-65926U2. License 4ZXN314, 6ACG546, 140Z. Substantially similar. That's a white van with a handicap license plate. 8YME332, 8RZK660. I can't say that one. That's F Alcarez Trucking LLC. The same exact demonic conduct, 8LRF682, with directed light while they're crossing path. Mungia, MUNGUIA, same exact P.O.C. 7ZXS825. And I did just capture video of the state stalking by a helicopter, 7ABW227, under what is the fake sun, 78767K1. That, as I'm capturing in video, I'm spelling out what is the impossible occurrence of that being the sun that I'm capturing 24 hours earlier as I remain at the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. And the state's fake sun is visibly captured as I stand at that entrance while I am facing what is toward the 280 North Lemon Apartments, toward that street, which is Lemon, I believe, at that turn circle. And I am facing that 280 North Lemon Apartment building, which is facing south. At 315, I'm facing what is west, where the state is keeping its fake sun for those series of hours while I'm at the Ovitt Family Community Library, 8DJT815. That is not the sun that is remaining over 280 North Lemon Apartments and then remaining over that in front of that entrance, essentially, over that Ovitt Family Community Library. That's the state's fake sun while I'm at that venue. And this is in conflict. That is also not the sun that is going to remain over the parking lot. Right here, aiming light on me, 8CZY507, coexisting with what is directed light. This is the identification of that pattern of conduct, where the state is also stalking by planes and helicopters, as I captured in that video as well. And again, common sense. This is what I'm showing you in all of that documentation, BS69N14, a demon focused on me, directed light, just spanning across the street while they are stalking. That's called crossing a path. Under that fake sun that's remaining over the B&G Plaza, which I would not be able to capture in video as I step outside of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. That is what is called stalking with light. Speaking to what is demon possession, it's currently 1:06 p.m. and that is what I captured in video as I just published my podcast right now, which this demonic entity, the state of California and the people of the state, engage in an ongoing sexually violent effort while they're stalking together to slow down internet. 8PFS114, 7NVM399, 7XYS340. 8F61110, and that is the significance of that molestation with that which is not sunlight, that the sexual violence is inherent to their stalking activity. This is the practicing of satanic conduct. The demon possessed in the state of California, 5LFG013. It is currently 1:06 p.m. and this is the state's fake sun, which is impossible to coexist with the actual sun, which is not going to be hovering over any building. That's not the sun also. But you also have what is, again, like I'm stating, I wouldn't be able to capture that outside of the entrance of the Ovitt Family Community Library, let alone if it's remaining over me in the city of Upland or remaining over me while I'm in the city of Fontana. This is Omnitrans also, as I document on my podcast, engaging in that P.O.C. crossing path and molesting my person while they too are monitoring, and that is a demon-possessed actor engaging in that criminal conduct through the guise of what is commercial means, stalking commercially on behalf of that government in that environment deliberately maintained for that. And that is speaking to what are stalkers, the demon-possessed entity that stalks in the bathroom, and to engage in that ongoing obsessive and terrorizing conduct, a sex offender, a very violent one, and engaging in that conduct at the Stater Brothers parking lot where the state kept its fake sun again. And this is after 10 a.m. and I've documented the state keeping its fake sun over the Ovitt Family Community Library as I enter that venue. All of this is in conflict, showing what is stalking with light, 7DOR320. And what is this all? The big picture is showing what is a psychopath. And this is that demon possession in operation over a people and over a government. All right, that's entirely threatening while you're talking about a psychopath that is operating amongst the people. And that is psychopath conduct. And it is currently 1:08 p.m. and this is P.O.C. Alrighty, it is 1:09 p.m. License plate 8XEU718, 8CIZ984, 7ZDZ684, 8XOT668, 6RRD904, 6VRN368. License plate, let's see, 8MDP342, And this is license plate 8YGY163. I'm sorry, 5BVE 556, 8XPU 667, 8M22713, 20833N2, 8YBK 399, 6NTP 478, 6R, can't see that one, 6B5, hold on, I'll get that one in a second, 6V ZC 608, 5KZH 707, 6B5 3524, 8WLB 947, 7GTB 919, 5ZMU 954, 7XIH 406, 4ZBF 240, 7ZUX 861, 24 LOBO, 8SJC 208, 8HDM 979, 8MWX 135, 7XVD 607, 6HUH 738, 4UCA 237, 6GZS 332. Demon closes the car door as I cross path. License plate 4ZXE045. I'm sorry, 4ZKE045. 6UKC255. 8R13948. 8WIN369. 7HAH238. 41071G3. 8R13948. 5FYK826, 8TPA226, 7PBL415, and it is 1:12 p.m. 8SMY287, 7X13113, 6BPA958, 7ULY601, 5CTK646. I'll show you the fake sun over the Andy's Burgers drive-thru. Again, remember, I'm already inside of the library of the Ovid Family Community Library at this time. This is Stalking with Light and a departure from that placement over the 280 North Lemon Apartments. Yesterday at 11:48 a.m., that's where the state kept its fake sun. So between that timetable, that's how you know that, because I step out at 11:48 a.m. I step out again at 3:15 p.m. This is ongoing documentation of what is Stalking with Light, as it is stalking with the people. And that is the public entity that is practicing satanic conduct, and this is terrorism. License 7ZPC744. Here's the fake sun. Alrighty, and as I capture those images of the state's fake sun over this same drive-thru where I'm standing at the sidewalk, understand I'm captured that same exact image showing you what is stalking with the light source and stalking by the people at an entirely different time. That is in the morning. It is 1:13 p.m. showing you what is stalking at a stoplight. That's what that Asian female is engaged in. And that is license plate 8JZB307, 8NZL955. And doing so under that which is not the sun, which is south, as I capture those images. So take a look at that. That is absolutely what I'm facing as I'm facing south, getting the fake sun. I'm facing what is the center ice skating arena. I'm right here at the Andy's Burgers drive-thru where they're stalking via drive-thru. The same demonic activity of light moving across that building while the demons are patrolling on Hope Boulevard. I'm facing what is transit, the parking garage of the 150 East Hope Boulevard area. And I've also shown you where the state, by the way, has engaged in keeping its fake sun over me at the museum. Understand everything that I'm revealing. Not only are you remaining over the B&G Plaza with the fake sun, you're talking about feet away from the museum where the state has kept its fake sun, acting as though it's rising over the museum, where it is starting there and remaining over the B&G Plaza is not the sun, as that is migration east from the museum, all right, and remaining for the duration of the day, and then moving east as I go to that Starbucks at 111 North Vineyard, and then remaining over the the 280 North Lemon Apartments at the Ovid Family Community Library. Understand that's just a street over, and that is not the Sun as well. That is the totality of that documentation, let alone starting at what is the Tabor Professional Building, which is across the street. And let me be clear, that's the same area of the 630 North Fern. It's just across the street from that venue as I've identified it. And you're talking about the state keeping its fake sun, as I have moved what is east to be at the B&G Plaza, and the state kept its fake sun there, all right? 6NTP478, that's a demon-possessed stalker that is listening to me document. And you're understanding what is stalking with light in every regard. Not the sun that is remaining over the block of what is around essentially Euclid Avenue, Holt Boulevard, and what is in between Plum and Lemon. That's where the state is keeping a light source. That is while I'm at whatever venue I happen to be at. That's not the Sun as well. And this is all the ways in which you are understanding, and this is throughout a duration of the day. That's what my documentation has revealed. Stalking with that which is not the Sun, revealing a demented and depraved and demonic system of stalking by the people and by a government who are monitoring with communication devices, with knowledge of the fact that they're being documented. 7RDY776. Molesting. 8FBL210. All right, that's P.O.C. It is currently 1:16 p.m. All right, I just wanted to get video showing what is stalking with light, and Ontario Police Department. It participates in that criminal act of molestation with directed light, as I show you the fake sun over my head, 7ZKH395, and I'm showing you what is the opposite direction, meaning opposite from being anywhere near with what I'm sorry, that's clearly not the Sun. In other words, what I'm saying, that's clearly not the Sun that's over 280 North Lemon Apartments 24 hours earlier, as I'm already present inside of that library, and that documentation showing that between 11:48 a.m., well, actually 10:20 a.m., but 11:48 when I'm documenting this entity stalking in a bathroom, being the sixth offender that it is, and I step out to show you the fake Sun as I am facing that entrance, and the state's fake Sun is beaming in its essence right there over my head. This video that I captured right now at 1:16 p.m. I am facing south. You can see the Enrique's income tax where the state's fake Sun moving from across the street over the Andy's Burgers, as I took a picture of, moving from remaining over me at the B&G Plaza. And an absolute departure from ever being capable of being captured over the 280 North Lemon Apartments, speaking to what is a sex offender in the bathroom around you, monitoring and stalking with that entity that's engaged in that ceaseless surveillance and terrorizing conduct, with knowledge of your panties being up and down, engaging in that obsessive and predatory conduct of stalking you into that space, with knowledge that you're documenting it as well. And Ontario PD does cross path and molest me just like every other third party that is demon possessed. That is the state acting directly as I capture that fake Sun that is inevitably concluded as what is a fake Sun and not the actual Sun, impossible to coexist. Not just 280 North Lemon Apartments, okay? You're talking about the ongoing documentation of what is stalking with light. It's nowhere possible being over in Fontana, as I showed you last Sunday where I am. And I'm capturing it at the intersection of Plum and Holt. Okay? License 8ALP287, 8DXK514, 7ZTM958. It's 1:19 p.m. Eight HEV033, 8MDK636. And it's 1:19 p.m. right now as I am at the parking lot area of I just walked through the Metro 102 Ontario Town Square Townhomes up Plum North, and the state moving its fake Sun north to remain over me as I walk that route. And I will show you a picture of that. All right, I went on ahead and captured video actually so that you can see in real time what is migration of a fake Sun over my head, moving from what is the B&G Plaza in real time as I'm showing you step by step in video. As I've already shown this before, but that's going to show what is, again, the sex offender. It's going to show what is the psychopath that is demon possessed, while this is a demonic system, and it shows the targeting conduct of every third party and state actor that I have documented under what is not the Sun and in what is not sunlight. And that is the significance of that documentation while the fake sun is hovering over me. As I walk toward the venue, that this fake sun was already over 24 hours ago as it remained from 10:20 a.m. up until 3:15, which is the last video I captured, while it remained, by the way, feet away from the 280 North Limit Apartments to remain visibly over in front of that same entrance of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, which is also documentation of what is not the sun. But let alone I'm showing you what is following where I go, remaining over where I am. And not consistent with what would actually be the sun in every regard. Its appearance, its hovering placement, and its real-time movement, and its stationary presence wherever it is that I remain. And because I remain at the B&G Plaza today, because I remained inside of the vehicle at 630 North Fern after 10 o'clock today, you have what is in direct conflict with being over the library at 10:20 a.m. as I showed you in video yesterday. It's over the Stater Brothers parking lot. It's remaining over the windshield of the vehicle at 630 North Fern. And that's what I showed in pictures. And that's what I show as I go to Stater Brothers and then remain at the B&G Plaza. Arriving at the Ovitt Family Community Library now, it's 1:22 p.m. And that is the pattern of conduct of following with light, stalking with light, which is instrumental with regard to monitoring with communication devices by the demon possessed. That is a government that is operating that system. Okay, it is currently 1:23, and that directed light that I showed you, the blue tinted directed light, remains on the sidewalk. I've shown you that as early as 9 o'clock in the morning, and it remains. It's inexplicable and unnatural light. This is the demonic conduct of stalking with light, while the state then moves its fake sun to be over the 280 North Limit Apartments right now. 7JW, 702. Monitoring with children, stalking with children, terrorizing with children under the fake sun. Alrighty, I did capture video of what is following, and that is momentarily as I walk through the parking lot from the Enrique's Income Tax to the parking lot of the 280 North Limit Apartments, to the entrance of the Ovitt Family Community Library, where that which is not the sun hovers over, remains over, and the people of the state engaging in that demonic conduct, including children and their P.O.C, all of which are speaking to the ways in which that entity is to be prosecuted, because that's the government that is including and engaging in that public corruption and that sexual violence and terrorism in such manners. In doing so, also with knowledge of exactly who I am and where I am and what I'm going to be doing, i.e. taking video of the fake sun as it is now captured over that venue in direct conflict with what I just captured as it remained over B&G Plaza, let alone the documentation that already exists as it remained over B&G Plaza well after 3:15 p.m. All right, it is currently 1:25 p.m. and demons, nothing but the demon possessed, are filling this venue, monitoring in a demented environment, pacing around like the psychopaths that they are, stalking in the bathroom, monitoring with communication devices in directed light, as I've shown you the light activity in here, and maintaining presence on behalf of the government. All right, it's 1:26 p.m. and that is P.O.C, Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. All right, I just want to document demonic terrorism underway inside of the state facilitating venue of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, occurring while the entity is monitoring what I'm publishing on the internet about this particular venue as well, specifically the video documentation with the timestamp of 20/21/11/28 at the time of 14/31/32. That is 2/31/32, where I'm showing you what is the state's demented environment. I'm being molested with directed light, and that's how you have what are shadows on both sides of me. This is how you have what are upright partitions having flat shadows on the ground. That is impossible light activity. This is the state's directed light that is inside of the venue. And then I did walk to what is the little copy room area, showing you what is absolutely impossible light activity inside of that copy room after. And what you're paying attention to is because as I enter the venue, first of all, this is the movement of the fake sun to this venue in direct opposition with what is the state keeping it over the B&G Plaza, in conflict with it already being here over my head as I arrived earlier yesterday at 10:20 upon my entrance. All right, this is the significance of that. And so as I publish the video at 2:55 p.m., the state engaging in flashing of light on this partition. I'm sitting at desktop computer number 9. This is demonic hostility. It's an act of terrorism, and I want to document it on my podcast as the entity is entirely focused on what I am doing and knows who I am, knows what I'm doing moment by moment, and that is speaking to the sex offender that is then stalking in the bathroom. Okay, that is the terrorism. While you have that impossible light activity, and as I publish that video, take a look at it, because it is ongoing documentation for the prosecution of not only the facilitating venue of the Ovitt Family Community Library, but Sean Thrasher. as I'm showing you what is an ongoing venue where he engaged in what is grounds of federal prison, criminal summoning, acting with the demon-possessed agency that are criminals, the Ontario Police Department, all of whom are under what is a fake sun and in that demented environment that is directed light that fills this venue. This is ongoing direct evidence against what is the psychopath and the sex offender. And as I publish that video, again, speaking to what is directed light, which you will see, speaking to what is that ongoing terrorizing threat and molestation of my person. This is the sex offender that touches with its directed light while it's stalking you. This is the sex offender and that stalker that is flashing light onto the desk partition where I'm sitting as I publish that video at 2:55 p.m. All right, that's P.O.C. All right, it's currently 3:25 p.m. and I would be seen on the surveillance cameras inside of this venue. And the entity is doing nothing but maintaining presence. And their condition is the same. This is demonic activity, okay? I happen to be inside of what is the venue that is identified as the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. And as I remained seated at the desktop computer number 9, the state continued to engage in that aiming directed light onto the side of the partition while I am also surrounded. The grounds are covered with what is directed light. This is an abnormal environment, and these are psychopaths who are stalking and acting like it is normalcy as they are working or present to engage in what is surveillance. And that is a reality of any employee and any third party that's entering inside of the venue, and that is because of the state's presence with that environment. And that is a state system and how it operates, by the way. They are focused on you, and that's why you have that light activity. That's why you have the state stalking to whatever venue that you are located at. And I want to go, that goes without saying, you have the ongoing demonic conduct of demons stalking with audible activity in the engineered light. All right, and so I want to be clear, ongoing surveillance inside of the restrooms as well, while the demon-possessed are tracking steps, patrolling around, including with their underage demon-possessed children on surveillance cameras while the state is aiming directed light all inside of the venue. This is P.O.C. It's currently 3:26 p.m. 44789C1. Again, that's license plate 44789C1. That is a commercial vehicle. It's an ice cream truck. And that is while that third party uses that to cross path, meaning drives it around in a circle at the turn circle, that directed light that I've showed you that the state places in front of the entrance, that is the shadow of that vehicle arrives at a distance away from that vehicle. I've shown you while the people of the state have engaged in that. For example, in Upland, where that group stalker, and that's the psychopath, by the way, where you have the absence of normalcy and they're clearly stalking, and I show you that by the demonic light activity surrounding them. So he walks by in the alley. I showed you this in Upland, and his shadow appears. His shadow is on his right side, and then you see in what is just directed light just appearing out of nowhere on the ground, and then you see his shadow appears at a distance away from him while he is walking toward me, and that is what the ice cream man just engaged in, driving by, and what is the state's directed light, and for purposes of what is light activity and relevant positioning. These are the elements of monitoring. This is demonic activity as well. This demonic activity is accomplishing what is in violation of federal law, federal stalking. All right, but this is rooted in that which is of Satan. This is ritualistic, satanic conduct that the government is practicing with the people of the state. They're all demon-possessed in the state of California. This is what they're engaged in, this unspoken of criminal system. All right, but it is demonic activity. And so while I exit the venue at 4 o'clock on the dot, that is a stalker that knows exactly where I am, knows who I am, and engages in that behavioral pattern of stalking with activity in the environment, crossing path, and at a distance away from that from where the vehicle is driving, light activity is created in front of me as I'm walking out, and that is supposed to be the shadow of that vehicle appearing in the directed light. That's absolutely demonic, and that is identification of a third-party demon-possessed group stalker that knows exactly where I am and who I am. And I just want to document that. It is currently 4:02 p.m. and the state is remaining with its light source, aiming what is directed light. This is common sense also, because I have shown as I exit, first of all, let's say the Upland Public Library, where not on Sunday because they're closed, but I have but that which is the actual sun is not limited to the time schedule of the demon possessed in the state of California, and the state is stalking with a fake sun. So let's use Upland Public Library for an example, and then I'll use another one, for example, that's open on Sundays, which is relevant with regard to what are timestamps, and that which is not, in no way based on time. It's based on where I am. Which is revealing what is stalking with light. So you have what is exiting this venue at 4 p.m. And I have documented while I'm in the city of Upland, while I remain inside of that venue of the Upland Public Library, substantial video documentation of the state remaining with that light source, which is not the sun, not only visible over the ceiling of that venue, which you can see because they have those glass tops in the ceiling, those glass windows, and you have what is the state aiming directed light. That's not sunlight. The state is cycling this engineered light through that venue, which I showed and I already established, and you see the ongoing big picture as I go from venue to venue, and you are understanding that pattern. Yes, Satan, how can I help you?
Yes, I'm trying to find out what...
I cannot help you. Get away from me. Thank you. It is currently 4:03 p.m. and this is audible activity. This is the same demon that was stalking on the side of the S.I.I.S liquor. She was pacing back and forth while the state was aiming that directed light on that wall. That's the same female, and I told you she's a demon, and she is indeed a demon. She's stalking right now. And so in my peripheral, I see her loitering in relevant position, and that's why I'm referring to her like that, because that is her true condition, and she's doing nothing but monitoring. Anyway, it's 4:04 p.m. I'm going to proceed. When I exit, or I'm sorry, as I remain inside of that venue of the Upland Public Library, which is a state facilitating venue, all right, that's identifying the city of Upland. You have what is the state keeping its fake sun, what is on D Street, as I show you, the state is remaining all day long, and then it engages in, at this time frame, it would engage in that pattern of keeping directed light onto what is then the facing the emergency exits, the left side where that circulation desk on the first floor is, above the circulation desk on that ceiling slash floor, because they have two floors. So on the first floor, and I've showed you that directed light that the state aimed inside of that venue, spreading directed light all onto the floor through the walls. And now speaking with regard to left and right, I will refer to it universally. Facing the emergency glass doors, which is facing D Street, that is facing south, the state is at this time aiming its directed light while keeping that fake sun over the D Street, physically present, visible to see above that D Street in front of that Upland Public Library, while aiming directed light inside of that venue, which would be east. Inside of the venue, and it's right above the circulation desk on the first floor. The state is aiming that directed light, and as I show you, as I sit at the desktop computers at or around this time, all right, and I'm showing you what is the directed light while the demon possessed are maintaining presence in the path, group stalking at the computers. The Upland Public Library even places those partition desks in position. It is specific to what is maintenance in the path. Anywhere that you walk, you'll have the demons that'll sit at that partition. That's why they have them in those random places, because it's for purposes of making sure everywhere that you walk, where there's space, somebody is present for crossing a path in that space. That's how deliberate those demons are at that venue. I want to be clear, but this is an identification of what the state is doing, and I showed you this in video yesterday. It's the same positioning right now. It's 4 p.m. The state is aiming directed light underneath the shaded walkway of the on the side of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, as though the sun is setting, and that is not the sun, that's the state's fake sun, and it is also moving in a direction where it has already come from, as I'm showing you in video, where I'm already at west of this location, the Stater Brothers parking lot, 646 West Holt, Starbucks. All right, the Ontario Village Shopping Center, and the state is engaging in keeping its fake sun in alignment with where I am, in conflict with what is documented engaging in at the Upland Public Library. Now let's contrast that and compare it to what the state's doing in the city of Fontana when I remain in that Fontana Lewis Library. And at this time, 4 p.m., I have stepped out to show you what is at 3:45 p.m. At 4:45 p.m., the state keeping its fake sun over the roof of that Fontana Lewis Library, while the state maintains directed light inside of that venue, while those demons that both work there and those demons that are just maintaining presence there to stalk together, all of them demon possessed, in what is directed light, and they are engaging in touching, while the state is aiming projected directed light, and their shadows are moving at a distance. So while they're walking in the hallway, I'm talking about the computer lab that I sit in, facing that parking lot of the Fontana Chamber of Commerce, that computer lab, while they are walking through the hallway, for example, walking past in that computer lab, their shadows are appearing on the opposite side of the room on that wall nearest where I sit. That is impossible light activity. It is speaking to the trajectory of light that is directed light, not naturally occurring. Sunlight is not spanning downward from what is the fake sun over the roof, and then through the doorways of that entrance where that cafe is, and reaching light across. I've shown you that light activity as my shadow is appearing. They're doing the same thing while they are walking at a distance, and their shadow is being cast, moving across. That's a method of touching, by the way. It's an ongoing molestation while those demons are stalking with audible activity, stalking by crossing path and touching with that directed light. It is the ongoing pattern of conduct. It is analogous to, if you're understanding now what I'm showing you, which is the pattern, it is the same exact conduct where the demon-possessed, the people of the state, are driving by on the street, and the state is aiming. They are aiming directed light across my person, across the sidewalk, across the building of the S.I.I.S liquor, like I showed you again today. It is the same exact pattern of conduct. While the entity is stalking with light, demonic. While the entity is stalking as a group, demonic. Okay. While the entity is failing at, because you have stripped it, I have stripped it all the way down for you to see what is blatant criminal activity of the most malicious that you can fathom or that you cannot fathom. That is demonic. Okay, this is how demonic activity is shown. It is in plain sight and it is entirely malicious. This is revealing what are psychopaths, and that is demonic as well. Okay, the form for which this system is supposed to exist, ordinary people, ordinary conduct, that's demonic. Understand that. It is in that very way revealing the fact that it is of Satan, while you are looking at what is their conduct, and then you're understanding both what is the face that they want to present and then the conduct that they are actually engaging in. That is demonic activity. That's a psychopath, and that is the violent sex offender. All right. So there is this twisted reality that no longer exists anymore. All right, regardless of the fact that the government has yet to be shamed and prosecuted and dealt with accordingly, because there's more after that, and forced to, in other words, recognize the constitutional and human rights of an American citizen that it is monitoring in concert with the people of any state. This happens to be the state of California. You're talking about psychopaths that are operating in that twisted universe where they are not yet faced with that reality. They are faced with it. You're talking about Satan. That is the character of Satan is to run even when there is nowhere to run, and will continue until he is trampled with a 16-wheeler, okay? That's the conduct, that's the character of Satan, and that's what you're witnessing as I am documenting day in and day out, ongoing stalking with that which is already established is not the sun. And that is no mystery in any federal court, what the state is doing. That which is not sunlight, while the state is engaging in stalking with it and molesting with it, and that is no mystery in any federal court that that's not sunlight. All right, you're talking about what is a very dangerous psychopath, and it is personified through the light conduct. It is personified through the people of the state, law enforcement, the fire department, ambulance personnel who are persisting and engaging in this demonic conduct, which is terrorism. All right. You're talking about those who are revealing their need for removal from their positions, removal from their exposing any sort of threat wherever it is that they may be positioned professionally or personally. You're talking about revealing what is public corruption, and that psychopath poses a very dangerous threat in all of those aforesaid ways. I've documented the demon-possessed in the court system. I've documented the demon-possessed in law enforcement. I've documented the demon-possessed of the fire department, the demon-possessed of the medical profession, the demon-possessed that are the people of the state that are surrounding you everywhere that you go. Your neighborhood cafe, your neighborhood grocery store, on any sidewalk where you're at, on your public transportation. All right, there is, at the airport, there is no form. And it is ubiquitous. All right, this demonic environment that is absolutely unnatural. It is for the state of California's criminal system that is in operation, and it is in violation of existing federal law. The demon-possessed are engaging in federal stalking. Their demonic activity, all right, these elements are achieving that criminal purpose of monitoring with communication devices. And that is, in other words, the ability to prosecute in federal court that which is demonic conduct, because it's criminal. All right, it is in violation of Title 18 U.S.C. Section 2261A. It is currently 4:11 p.m., and that is P.O.C. All right, the images that I took of group stalking by the demon-possessed, I took images of what is a group stalker who hides his face on the side of the senior center, right in alignment with me. And what I'm showing you is a demon-possessed stalker who knows exactly who I am and is stalking in the path, while directed light, which I take pictures of, this is inexplicable light just appearing on the side of the senior center. He walks right under it while he knows I'm documenting him. Understand? There's also directed light on the bushes in front of me. Understand this is in conflict with, this is blatant, just placing light around me, and in conflict with placing the fake sun at the entrance area, as though the sun is setting at the depths of where that location is on the side of the venue. And then you also have what is the entity sounding what is train activity with simultaneity of the stalking presence of those third parties who I capture at 4:16 p.m. while they are crossing path with strollers and with little kids. The state is cycling directed light, just like you saw over at Shiro's Liquor, cycling directed light across the wall of the senior center, that same wall where I documented 3 minutes earlier that demon-possessed stalker with the bike, okay? And the state is engaging and sounding the train activity of Union Pacific as my phone rings. This is operation of a communication device, a means of monitoring, and I am alerted on my phone. This is while in the path calling my phone. It's 4:19 p.m. That's P.O.C, and that's the placement of the directed light while they are crossing path, while I'm on the side of that Ontario Ovid Family Community Library. Those are three different methods of the same exact stalking, conduct, and monitoring with communication devices. It's currently 4:19 p.m. and that is Union Pacific engaged in that P.O.C. directed light as United States Postal Service is crossing path at Holt and Plum Boulevard. And the state's fake sun is remaining, centering its presence on Holt Boulevard, or as we're driving west, 62354K2. All right, and I showed you how the state is aiming its, speaking to what is the state aiming directed light into the narrow hallway between the Senior Center and the Ovid Family Community Library. All right, this is stalking with light, aiming light onto the exact same location. And the state is already over this venue of the Stater Brothers, Holt Boulevard, this location, as I showed you in video earlier this morning. And this is following with that same exact light source, which, by the way, when I am in transit in Fontana, remaining at the Fontana Lewis Library or remaining at the Upland Public Library, this vantage point would never be visible. You're talking about what is blatant stalking with light. And it's currently 4:21 p.m. On Holt Boulevard at San Antonio, fake sun hitting through the windshield on my face as we're on, it's the exact same conduct, maintaining alignment, aiming light at the exact same location. It's 4:22 p.m. All right, I did take images so you can see what I've shown as the pattern of engaging in maintaining alignment, aiming light onto the exact same location, accompanied with what is impossible light activity, while the demons are driving on the opposite direction of Holt Boulevard, directed light appearing while their vehicles are moving. It's the same pattern, creating that shadow of, which is not a shadow of your car, on the opposite side of the street on the curb. That's a maintenance of light activity. And I'm showing you what is the state's fake sun that is moving from what is the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library westbound toward Holt Boulevard, 7TGU 975 8NKL 705. And that's what I took images of. 05022X1 6PIL 017. License plate 8WHH111. And Ontario boy. That's speaking to a demon-possessed Ontario boy. He's stalking. License plate 5WDD801. Omnitrans is stalking with light activity at D Street and Mountain. License 1590829. 8BAL 651. Alrighty, so after getting off of Holt, moving north up Mountain, the state is keeping its fake sun in alignment with the vehicle as we were driving north up Mountain. Now at Mountain and G Street. License plate, I'll get that one in a second. 8LY2205. Remember, this is audible activity. It's not serving any commercial purpose. This is documentation of criminal conduct by the state. License 6CWT604 22196E3. 7FIB 446. 7HCV 852. ALEX G7. 8BQW 071. License 7SQN 901. 7Y23167. 8WLDO25. 49779D3. 6SNN 975, I believe. 8XOA 771. All right, the state aiming its light source and directed light covering the Ontario Plaza on Mountain Boulevard, covering the building, the storefronts. This is the same venue where the state is keeping its fake sun directly over my head earlier in the day. This is called Stalking with Light. 5ZFX 807, 8YDN 151, 6ZKZ 899, 8NQW 617, 8RFP 646, 8YPH 925, 8SGC 839, 8SHE 962, 8KKY 391, 8REH 667, 7AOW 540, 8WKA 531, 8BCU 674, 6HHX 797, 5XFG 580. Okay, so I read that one already. It's 4:26 p.m. All right, I did capture video, which you can look at the state maintaining its fake sun in alignment, and the state is flying over the airspace in airplanes. I'll get that too. Alrighty, did document the state's pattern of conduct of stalking via aircraft, covering the surfaces with directed light and following with a fake sun. License. I think I read these already. I am at what is third-party facilitating venue, the Super Clean Laundry, at 4:28 p.m. And they fill the venue. They're on surveillance cameras. P.O.C. All right, 4:31 p.m. Super Clean Laundry engaging in sexual violence, and this is the sex offender, the psychopath that is present in that environment that is undeniable. And you have what is activity creation by trying to open the bathroom door. And then this is, again, occurring pursuant to what is some feigned ignorance as to my presence when you are stalking. And you are stalking in the state's environment. You are stalking with the state that I captured also on video, flying over the venue. That is the demon-possessed stalking conduct pursuant to a demonic behavioral pattern as I reach into my pocket. And this is with knowledge of who I am, where I am, and what I am doing. Okay? This is Super Clean Laundry. It's 4:32 p.m. 7 PRM 282. It is currently, by the way, 6:02 p.m. at the Ontario Plaza. Stalking, meeting me at the parking lot is this demon-possessed stalker 7HCD664 8RRU011. Demons that are pacing, they're driving in opposite directions in directed light. 8YPH925, 8MDC745, 8MTY925, 8TED807. 8XHJ597. You have absolutely impossible radiant light in the parking lot in the dark. All right, that's satanic. 8WKA531, 7AOW540. 8YJ2482. 8GPL501. And it is 6:03 p.m. Alrighty, it is 6:04 p.m. And that is documentation of the pattern of conduct at the Ontario Plaza, which is isolating the pattern of conduct to where I am. The entity is monitoring beyond the Ontario Plaza. This is speaking to what is relevant positioning as I am here and as I remain, and the ongoing system in motion. In other words, where I go, that is the pattern of conduct. It's 6:04 p.m. 7AUP224, 8WBR639, 2137772. I can't really see that one. 8XNR368. 8BIM057. 7NWA729. Ontario. American Medical Response. This is directed light, so American Medical Response is driving north on Mountain Avenue 5 with sirens and lights. That's the demonic activity underway by 472YH Handicap. Engaging in criminal facilitation. 8ESF228. 8REF518. All of these demons are monitoring to that facilitating conduct by American Medical Response. 8PTL039. 4TLN276. 7XKN399. 7UEP037, 6ZKZ899. We still got more tickets to see and Drake live at the Coliseum December 9th at 8 p.m. Alrighty, and again, that is demonic activity underway by American Medical Response. Alright, it's criminal, but it's entirely demonic. They are using their lights and sirens in what is directed light in that demonic environment, engaging in nothing but criminal conduct, and you are understanding what is the psychopath in a position that they shall be snatched out of and prosecuted for engaging in that conduct while in that position. That's the malicious psychopath. And the sex offender and the stalker. Acting directly, that's the state. American Medical Response represents the state acting directly. It is 6:06 p.m. License plate 8JUV624 5LBA 800. 8XDX703 8YNN494 56. I can't see the rest one. 7UFN799 8HOA260 8WVU039 8AAG897 7JTH69. Can't see the rest of that one though. 7LYD 364, 8NXA 572, 8HJV 519, 70603T2, 6ALV 041, 7TPE 208 69966B1, 8DMG 563, 7PWU 856. Oh, you're going the wrong way.
I'm not going in there.
You're driving the wrong way. 7YHG841, 6SAT048, 96144W2, 6TPL952, 8PRU207, 8LQG876, 8VGH577, 47295L2, 7WKN972, I believe, 8TCT, oh, I think I read that one already, 7PLT, I can't see that one, it's 6:08 p.m., 7MWN 745 or 765, 7GOG 972, 7KA 576, substantially similar, I can't really see that one, 8WWX 834. All right, license 8NXA 572 is molesting. 7HTF 087 is molesting. They're all in directed light at third-party facilitating venue Walmart at 1333 North Mountain Avenue. 8HCD 460. It's 6:09 p.m. Alrighty, take a look at what the images that I just captured speaking to the demonic activity underway at third-party facilitating venue Walmart. That is a sex offender, an entity that is stalking in the state's environment. Walmart has no exercising any right of a business. They're stalking with the state while I'm being molested, and my shadow is on both sides of me. 7UVL286 is stalking, okay? 8BFM700 is stalking. 8GPL588 is stalking. 8T60870 is stalking. And engaging in that demonic conduct of flashing light using their vehicles in what is directed light. That is the pattern of conduct, and it is facilitation at Walmart where these demons are surrounding in that demented environment, which continues at Walmart. It does not stop, okay? That license plate is U172FO. And look at that documentation, those images speaking to what is directed light. This is the exercise of no constitutional rights by Walmart or any employee or any third party. 8RKV679. That is documentation of what is stalking on behalf of the state. 7TNV668. All right, Walmart is cloaked. Every third party is cloaked in that status as the state while you are in that demented environment. And this is demonic activity. This is terrorism underway at Walmart. And this is documentation of what is also sexual violence at this venue where these demons are centering all of their activity, everything that they are doing as they are doing it on what I am doing, including inside of the private space. All right, it is license 8KSD782, 5XNH011. Walmart monitoring, meeting inside of the entrance via this heavy white third party carrying his communication device. He's walking inside of the entrance right now at 611. Hi, what's your name?
Brian?
Brian? Hey, Brian. Okay, Brian is monitoring. Hi. Is you guys' restroom open?
Yes.
Thank you, Annie and Margaret. They're monitoring. It is currently 6:12 p.m. Okay, Brian is meeting at the entrance in the same way the third parties do with their vehicles, with light, with audible activity. All right, even using the train, for example, that's what he's doing as he's carrying his communication device. He's doing that on camera as I walk inside. He's not acting by himself. I'm just documenting Walmart because I'm going to prosecute them. Directed light covers the grounds. I'm being molested with directed light, and the demons are engaging in monitoring inside of the private space. I want to document sexual violence, and this is P.O.C. It's 6:12 p.m. All right, activity creation, which is the amplified sound of what's supposed to be the hand dryer. I want to be clear, that is audible activity, period, and what is directed light for the criminal purpose of monitoring by demons that are surrounding. This is sexual violence while I'm being monitored inside of the private space at Walmart at 6:13 p.m. All right, the demons are turning on and off the dryer while they listen to me reach for my phone. I've already shown you what is directed light and what is stalking by helicopters. I've shown you what is stalking with a fake sun. I don't have to make it up, but there you go. All right, this is the ongoing use of a dryer. That's amplified audible activity. and it's used to stalk with activity. All right, and then the demon engages in repeating the conduct as they listen to me document the fact that they are stalking with activity pursuant to their knowledge of my reaching for my phone. It is P.O.C. regardless, okay? And these are psychopath sex offenders, and that P.O.C. is underway at Walmart, okay? I've already shown you the helicopters over Walmart, the commercial airlines hovering over Walmart, the state's fake sun remaining over Walmart, the state's directed light, as I showed yet again tonight at Walmart. This is sexual violence indeed, 6:14 p.m., monitoring inside of the bathroom, all corporately, listening for me to drop my panties. P.O.C. All right, and I did capture for what is the affirmative documentation of stalking in the bathroom itself. This is relevant positioning and light activity and audible activity creation inside of the venue at 6:17 p.m. This is monitoring in the private space, okay? P.O.C. Alrighty, so this is the ongoing engagement of what is pacing in relevant position and what is also light activity and audible activity. Using the prolonged use of the hand dryer is a means of audible activity, which with simultaneity to my engaging in private activity, the demons are using that to monitor, to create audible activity. This is not only demonic, it's predatory, sexually violent conduct while the entity knows what you're doing as you're doing it, okay? And this is documentation of Walmart inside of the bathroom participating in sexual violence directly. And by directly, what I mean, I'm not speaking as to state that Walmart represents the people, third parties, but Walmart, the employees are engaging in the relevant positioning and pacing in the light and acting and engaging in audible activity. The hand dryer, I want to be clear, you're talking about prolonged use of that hand dryer. Pay attention. This is all these demons are doing is keeping their hands under the dryer while they are stalking in the path and maintaining that dryer, which is automatic as you place your hands, for purposes of monitoring for audible activity. And then Walmart comes in concert with other third parties to engage in pacing and patrolling around. It's the demonic pattern of conduct, as I'm showing you while I'm standing outside of Shiro's Liquor. They're doing the exact same thing inside. You have what is light and moving all around in that light, and demons that are pacing back and forth, wearing nothing but Walmart vests and maintaining presence at the venue. And I've shown you my light activity while I'm staying outside in the dark on the property of 133 North Mountain Avenue. The sex offenders are monitoring in the bathroom, and there is no form for that. This is documentation of what is the sex offender that is Walmart. I want to be clear, this is the same entity that stole my property. They're monitoring all together, and the pattern of conduct is ongoing, and this is going to be the prosecution of that entity that is engaging in the P.O.C. on behalf of the state that is ceaselessly stalking and monitoring. That's what this is, the totality of that documentation is. At 6:21 p.m., and this is sexually violent monitoring at Walmart, P.O.C. Alrighty, documentation of what is stalking in the bathroom. And while you have that third party maintaining presence, she brings in her little minion children to use the bathroom. That's a means of audible activity, flushing the toilet. Hi, Carlos. He's a team lead. He's monitoring. What's your name, sir? Jeff, he's a team lead, they're monitoring. I just want to document as I'm walking in that's crossing a path with their communication devices in the ongoing environment. And they're monitoring me inside of the restroom while third parties enter inside of that venue and using their children, first of all, to create audible activity while you're looking at her studying her communication device while she's doing so. She's monitoring, all right? And you have what is maintaining presence outside of the bathroom as I walk out. That's what I'm showing you, stalking with communication devices, monitoring, and that is tracking every move. And that is third parties and Walmart together, monitoring. All right, third parties are acting as one. I am slicing down the ways in which the third parties are acting. Third parties that are facilitating the venue of Walmart, third parties that are maintaining presence in the venue for purposes of maintaining that corporal presence. And these are the violent sex offenders, the psychopaths, if you will, the demon possessed, engaging in that conduct, corporately engaging in what is that sexual violence, while that demon possessed stalker, that is the people of the state, acting via Walmart right now, in concert with Walmart, monitoring and engaging in that surveillance conduct inside of a bathroom. All right, while they are corporately aware of the fact when your genitalia is exposed, when you are engaging in any sort of minor, most minute movement, even that which is inaudible to the human ear, this is demonic conduct, okay? Stalking with noise pursuant to that knowledge with simultaneity, that's the demonic behavioral pattern, and it is predatory and sexually motivated and perverted activity. While you enter in with your demon-possessed children to create activity, pacing around in light, maintaining presence all inside and outside of the bathroom, including employees joining in on that sexual violence at this venue, to monitor with communication devices in that environment, and that's exactly what I took pictures of. My shadow on both sides of me while I am what is indirect light. That is no ordinary light that's occurring from what is street lamps or lights of any ordinary building, for example. That's the ongoing pattern of conduct. stalking with the environment and stalking by the people. And it does not stop at the doors of Walmart, okay? It is facilitated and it is welcomed. It is highly exercised, as I showed in 2014. All right, I showed you what is the fake sun remaining over 1333 North Mountain specifically, and it remained from after 10 a.m. until after 6 p.m. already published documentation. This is a sex offender, and I'm going to prosecute third-party Walmart, a sex offender, all right, a stalker in the state's environment, all right? That is the removal of any First Amendment claim. You don't have it, all right? And that's how the state system works, by the way, all right? It relies on some claim of there is no group stalking. They're all engaging in normal life. Nobody knows your name. You are a paranoid schizophrenic. That's the P.O.C. in other words. That's a breakdown. That's a synopsis of it. And that's a violent, malicious, demon-possessed psychopath that engages in that sort of malicious system. All right, it is currently 6:26 p.m. And that is P.O.C. Let's see. License plate. Sex offender. License 8 VDS 327 5EBX 829. Sex offender BE 7403 paper. Sex offender. We're driving a white Chevrolet 5JAV 734. This sex offender 8 HPR 751. And Walmart itself is a sex offender as well, using the security vehicle as a means of flashing light. It's the same exact demonic activity. There's no form. So you're seeing how you strip down that demonic system in operation, just like those demons were in front of the entrance with their flashing light. That's what that demon driving that security vehicle is doing. AC28L73, and that's documented. That's prosecuted as criminal facilitation. 18009Z2, I believe. Criminal facilitation by Walmart. 84272E3. 5 DER 408. And that is also a method of touching, okay? So let me get this license plate of this sex offender. It's 65414H3. This is Brosnan Security Patrol. This is, let me see if we got a PPO number. It's driven by African-American male. He looks like he's got dreads. We have BrosnanRisk.com, PPO number 120370. Federal stalking, sexual violence, molesting, and also monitoring me in the bathroom. That light activity is in relevant position to the restroom, walls, ceilings, no obstruction. They're also demons that are engaged in that corporate violence. Molesting 8LOE011, that's a sex offender. 6KKV641. Again, that's Brosnan Patrol engaging in that criminal conduct, sexual violence, monitoring with children, license plate. 7VCP834, license 4KYB982. It is 6:40 p.m. And this is all POC at Walmart at 1333 North Mountain Avenue in Ontario, where I've already documented them specifically. The state keeping its fake sun over this address, just like I show you, keeping it over the B&G Plaza, keeping it over the Upland Public Library, etc. 7VCP834. Yeah, that's the correct license plate. POC. 6KKV 641, 5DER 408, 5FQW 846. License 3MQD 083, 8XVN 379, 8MAA 574, 7YNA 138, 7UJF 492. All right, it's 6:41 p.m. State's talking by helicopter. 7:37 p.m. Right over Fern with directed light inside of the vehicle. The people are stalking as well. 630 North Fern Avenue engaging in terrorism. The state is aiming flashing light inside of the vehicle. The Christmas lights on the venue of 630 North Fern is the form for what is flashing light inside of the car. That is the same entity that is stalking with helicopter over the vehicle, the same entity that is aiming directed light, the same directed light I'm showing you on the sidewalks and on the walls and on my person, as the demon-possessed that are the people of the state are stalking, knowing exactly who I am and where I am and what I am doing under the fake sun, doing the exact same thing while I am inside of a vehicle at nightfall, stalking together. That same stalking by a helicopter, stalking with directed light, and 630 North Fern Avenue. This is a venue engaging in that terrorism inside of a vehicle. Your Christmas lights are not creating flashing light inside of the car. It is the same exact entity acting together, and that's going to the ongoing prosecution of that specific third party. But the people of the state, this entire block, you're talking about a neighborhood that's going to be prosecuted, as I'm documenting what the people of the state are doing at nightfall, stalking an American citizen. It's 7:38 p.m., and the state stalking by helicopter is an ongoing indication and direct evidence against the people of the state who are indeed stalking around a vehicle, stalking an American citizen. These are demon-possessed actors who are engaging in that exact same pattern of conduct I show you outside at nightfall, engaging in 24-hour ceaseless surveillance, sexual violence, and terrorism. All right, it is 7:39 p.m. while ongoing monitoring is underway, and that was helicopter over 630 North Fern. P.O.C. 7LHT 452, 7WTH 326, 7GUZ 123. And I did capture video at 7:53 p.m. of the state flying right over 630 North Fern, where I stand, in operation of my phone, showing what is light activity creation by, first of all, using your venue where you live, 630 North Fern Avenue, a facilitating venue, and also in what is directed light as I take pictures of my shadows on both in front of me, it's appearing on the car, and also to my right, it's appearing on the sidewalk. This is the venue where you are maliciously creating light activity, i.e. 630 North Fern. I'm going to prosecute them for that. You have what is the state flying right over my head in what is that ongoing environment where I'm being molested with directed light as I'm using my phone. I'm going to prosecute 630 North Fern for that. They are indeed acting with the state. The simultaneity of flight over my phone, speaking to exactly who I am. You know exactly who I am. You know exactly where I am. You know exactly what I'm doing. And speaking to that malicious conduct by those third parties of 630 North Fern. And by the way, I'm also capturing in video what is light literally just appearing out of nowhere. It is absolutely disconnected as driving by, and directed light across the Shiro's Liquor and the sidewalk and the street. You have what is the state aiming, flashing directed light. You can see the reflection of the gate as it's appearing on the car. And that's not coming from what our Christmas lights, okay? Third party facilitating venue 711 at 636 North Vine. Molestation by 7HVP128. Molestation by 8SQP761. These are group stalkers while the state is flying in the background by helicopter. This is a demon-possessed stalker, 7HVP128. I'm going to ship them out of the country also. They look like they're foreigners. The state is flying over in relevant position to the 711. Paper plate BM47U19, 7RXM767. It's P.O.C. It's currently 7:57 p.m. Aiming light. This is directed light, 6MJS501. Remember, directed light covers the ground. They are stalkers that are waiting to touch, keeping light all around the perimeter, 714 North Vine. Across the street over here at the different apartment complexes, right across the street from the 7-Eleven, while the state is circling about in helicopter, okay? This is P.O.C. And demons are filling the venue of the 7-Eleven. A fat one with tattoos on his face with a bow cut and a ponytail, and another one with a jacket and a black backpack on. I'm also in here with the black backpack on, but I'm not monitoring. I'm being monitored. I'm documenting it. That's audible activity as she uses the register as well. The state is flying over this venue by helicopter. This is 7-Eleven. Excuse me, I'm sorry. The correct time is, 7:57 p.m. All right, license plate 6UOU766. Audible activity in directed light. A demon that is coming to engage in stalking and to touch. All right, there ain't nothing cute about that, nothing cool about that. 6UQU766, contrary to that demon's bumping rap music while he is stalking. It is currently 8:01 p.m. That is third party facilitating venue 7-Eleven at 636 North Vine Avenue. All right, I did capture additional video at approximately 8:19 p.m. And this is showing what is flashing light that is being aimed inside of the car. And I'm contrasting that with the light activity that 630 North Fern is creating with their Christmas lights. That is the creation of light activity nonetheless by that venue. But I was also showing what is not projecting light and not flashing light. This is the state, the same exact entity aiming directed light. This is flashing directed light on the exterior of the vehicle, as I showed you in that video, while the state is flying over in helicopter. And this is directed light inside of the vehicle while I am sitting inside. So this is the acknowledgement of what is knowledge as to who I am and where I am. And this is called impossible light activity. literal flashing light that is occurring, and I'm showing what is the Christmas lights that are not flashing. That is the same exact pattern of conduct, and even if 630 did have flashing lights, you're talking about what is the precise aiming inside of the vehicle. Under all circumstances, it is nonetheless light activity, but I'm speaking to what is a demonic pattern of conduct that is underway while the entity is monitoring. You have what is the directed light, as I took images of my shadow in front of me, which you saw in the video, but I also took pictures of what is my shadow in front of me appearing on the car and to my right. That is directed light. The same light activity, by the way, at Walmart at 1333 North Mountain Avenue. This is the demented environment that the state is stalking with, and that is why Walmart is a third party acting on behalf of the state, and Walmart is thereby a stalker and engaging in the criminal system of monitoring, as I documented it at that venue. And this is ongoing P.O.C. at 630 North Fern, where the state is aiming directed light inside of the vehicle, flashing directed light. And the people are engaging in demonic pattern of stalking with activity, driving by as they are monitoring what I'm doing on my phone, monitoring any movements that I make. And I want to be clear that same demonic pattern is underway inside of a bathroom where they already know what you are doing, engaging in that surveillance and that demonic conduct. That's the demonic feature. That is the reality of what are the demon possessed. And then they engage in stalking inside, physically coming in and stalking inside of the bathroom. All right. It is 8:23 p.m. This is P.O.C.